Hello, little children and babies. All right, this is Mysterious Stranger here with the DFW Southeast Comic Traders, and today we're going to be talking about X-Men Live '97. We're going to talk about Cowtown Comic Con, and we're going to have a guest on today. We're going to have we got Bonesaw. Is that the name you're going to go with? We can still hear you. We just can't see you yet.
Okay. Yes, that is the name I'm going to go with.
That's rough. That's a rough name. He's as scary as his name sounds. I promise you that. All right, let's get it started. Going to, where are you at? How are we going to do this?
There we go.
Let's start like that.
All right, sounds good.
How about that? Hey, Bonesaw, you want to take a minute and introduce yourself?
Yeah. Been buddies with the Mysterious Stranger for quite some time now. Used to work together, and now work somewhere else. But we've been really good friends for a long time now. Mysterious Stranger, a real good dude. He's about as good as they come, and so I'm here jumping onto his bandwagon to help do what I can to grow the DFW Southeast Comic Traders group and the reach of the Mysterious Stranger amongst the comic space in the YouTube verse.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's perfect. That's perfect. We want to grow the space. We want to grow the community, and Bonesaw's number one. He's the number one guy. Let's do a little screen share real quick. Let me add something here. Extra camera. Let's move this.
While he's doing that, how'd the day go today? I don't want to jump ahead too much, but just a general summary of how the day went. Out of curiosity.
The day was long and good. As long as it was a day I didn't want it to end. I didn't want it to end. And I woke up, went to the Comic-Con. We had a VIP pass at the Cowtown Comic Con, and I got there, got in the door, got to skip the line, got through the door, and it was 9:30 a.m., and I didn't stop talking and leave until 5 p.m. No food.
Wow.
No water.
Straight comics.
Yeah. A ton of comics. I didn't dig through the back issues as much as I imagined I would. There was so many interesting people there to talk to. And so I was exhausted from speaking, and I didn't realize how exhausted I was until I had to try to re-explain some of today's events when I got home. And I could feel my voice starting to give out.
Yeah.
This is the Cowtown Comic Con. This is at the Waxahachie Civic Center, and tomorrow is the last day for it. This is where we were today, and so tomorrow this opens up at 10 a.m. This is a $20 entrance to get in, but it was great times. It's Cowtown Comic Con is traditionally held in Fort Worth, and they didn't do it last year. They normally do it in Will Rogers Coliseum, and now and the Dickies Arena is the bigger arena over there now. So They did it there, and then they took a year off, and then it reappeared here in Waxahachie. So super excited to have a big Fort Worth con, long-running Comic-Con land right in my backyard in the southeast area. So we definitely went and made a showing. Let's show some of the pictures. I posted some of these pictures. We had an event. We set the event up here. So if you follow me, let you know we create events and send out invites to the followers and share some of the con stuff. We're going to do the North Texas Comic Con, the NTX Comic Con, which is a little bit bigger than the Cowtown, but it's in Dallas for the Dallas people.
And when is that one?
That one's in September.
Okay. Got that to look forward to.
Here's some brief pictures. Check out this great Professor X and
great.
This is an indie writer. He writes his book Cosmot. He's a Fort Worth native. He works in the library. He's from Collective Comics in Fort Worth. This is a bit of a spoiler. You brought this up. I probably should have waited to get into this, but we're going right into Cowtown Comic Con.
Sorry.
This is a key. This is a big key for me in my collection, and I finally decided to pull the trigger and get this book. This is a first appearance of Venom on the cover. This is a Todd McFarlane book, and this is Jeff. He doesn't have a store, but he does. He goes around and hits all the cons and takes all his book to the cons, and he made a good. It was marked at a decent price, and he made an even better deal for me without me even asking. He dropped it immediately. Here's a close-up shot.
That's exciting, dude. I know this is one that the one that you've wanted in the collection for quite some time now, so I'm excited to see you get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've been avoiding getting some of the higher-priced books. When I first got my collection, I had already had a bunch of Spider-Man and Venom books, and then I acquired a large collection of Golden Age and Silver Age books, and I gave up half of the collection and got a Secret Wars run and some important Black Suit issues. So that was one of my first big purchases, and I haven't made another one since. But I felt like this was the perfect time to go ahead and pull the trigger on another big grail for me because the Cowtown Comic Con brought it to me.
Right.
By way of Jeff over here. So that was exciting. This lady, this is not a comic book. This is an interesting lady that I ran into in the book. She had a booth, and she's an author. She was in this small booth with 3 other authors, and they were chomping at the bits to talk to somebody. They were pitching real hard. So I feel socially awkward dodging people who tried to give me a good sales pitch. And she pitched this book to me, which had a super weird and interesting concept. As you can tell, it looks creepy by the cover already. But it's about a shape-shifting character that hunts down child predators.
All right.
Yeah, that's some hardcore content. So I pulled the trigger. I pulled the trigger on that book, which is an unexpected purchase.
What did that book run you, if you remember?
It was $20. It was $20, which feels a little steep for a novel. I'm normally a small paperback, $5 paperback guy. I normally can find interesting content at the $5 small paperback.
Yeah.
I am getting old, so
it's hard to say no to somebody who's very passionate and excited to try and sell you something, especially. I mean, it's you think about it, with the prevalence, especially of AI writing and stuff like that today. It's and I'm not sure if this book's any good or not, but I think it's really cool that you're willing to support her and give her a shot, and hopefully the book's good.
Yeah. Love a good independent person. Anybody doing stuff on their own is exciting to deal with.
Right.
She was a character. I'm into it. Look at rocking the crucifix also.
Mm-hmm.
Help each other out. It's a sister. But the concept for the book, I was probably going to buy something anyway, but the concept of this book grabbed me. And as soon as she was done making the sale with me, I tried to walk away, and one of the other ladies tried to grab a hold of me, and I had to pretend like I didn't see her because she was not going to give up. Like, I've already made a purchase I didn't plan on making, so
Right.
that happened to me today.
So going in, did you set a budget or anything beforehand and say, like, make a middle note of like?
No, I really didn't. And normally, I didn't plan on buying the Venom book either.
Yeah,
I spent $20 on that book, and that was early on. That book was the first purchase I made.
Yeah,
I got some important signatures. The reason I went was for some signatures, so I knew I was going to spend a little bit of money for the signatures. I did, and I was going to buy some books from that guy if he had some books.
Yeah.
So maybe $50, maybe $50. It cost me $60 to get in. I got the VIP pass, which by the end of the day, I'll tell you a story when I'm pulling out. I'm gonna pull out the bag when we get through these pictures and show off some of the stuff that we got from the con. And Bryce went with me and delved into some Pokemon pack opening action.
Oh, okay.
It worked out well for him as well. I make videos on TikTok.
Sweet.
Doing that. So anyway, he got in on some action too. So I $60 to get in. It's kind of steep to get into a con like this. They gave you a goodie bag. I knew the goodie bag was coming, but they didn't really say what was going to be in the bag.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to expect there. Signatures can be pricey. I didn't expect it to be too much here. They were like 10. The signature that I wanted ended up being like $10 each. I'm not a big signature guy, either, but I really like this guy. I want to support him. He's not a mainstream artist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He's got his own books. Anyways, $50 extra. 50.
Yeah.
I'm a dollar bin guy, and I'll buy new comic books at like $5 each. I normally run them $35 on new book day, plus whatever I pull out of the bin normally runs me about $50 every time I run to the comic store on the low end. So 120.
Yeah.
Which seems expensive, but I always spend more than that.
Won a wrestling championship.
NWA. This guy, I don't know wrestling. This guy's name is Chaz Taylor. I don't know if that rings any bells with you. Buff Bagwell, which is familiar to me.
Yeah. NWO for life.
Was standing right next to this guy. So they kind of toured together.
Yeah.
This guy had a couple belts. And I was trying not to talk to this guy either, but he was a nice guy and reached out to me, and I ended up talking to him for like 15, 20 minutes.
Well, that's cool.
Just about dedication, hard work, going to the gym. We talked about, being nice to people. He was real. He's like, hey, it's important for him to be friendly to people at the cons. He mentioned sometimes people at cons have a difficult time talking to other people.
Yeah.
We talked about how that can be a challenge for some people, especially authors or introverts or people who spend a lot of time alone doing art or writing.
Right.
A lot of time people are there for the characters and not really for you.
Yeah.
Right? So it can be difficult to have those conversations, but we all should be welcome and open to challenges like that. So we talked about that a little bit. Nice guy. He's from the Houston area. He recently moved to Oklahoma. Chaz Taylor.
Oh, okay.
Maybe somebody knows him.
Cool
guy. I'm 6'2", or I used to be. I'm probably 6'1" now. That's how he's a little bigger than me.
Yeah.
Even though I look bigger because I'm closer to the camera.
Right.
He's in great shape.
Well, that's cool.
This is Pat Broderick. He's the guy that brought me to the con. When I saw him, I had to go.
Yeah, what's my father-in-law doing there? Note, he's not actually my father-in-law, but he does favor my my father-in-law's appearance a little bit. Running joke between me and the stranger.
Yeah, we can clip this and send him a piece of this. I think he would appreciate it also. This guy's an important guy. He's been a comic book writer. I mean, an illustrator. He's a comic book illustrator and an artist. And you can see some of the name brand stuff on here, like Alpha Flight, Captain Atom, Green Lantern, Batman Year 3. His name is Pat Broderick. He's been an illustrator for Marvel and DC and some indie books for the last 53 years.
Wow.
He's 73 years old now, and he still works. He's still drawing. You can't see it very well in this picture here, but
yeah,
I have some flyers and some posters and his signatures that I'll pull out when we get to the last video picture. This might be the last picture, but his illustrating is very good, and it's unique. It's pretty neat. Firestorm is another one that he wrote. Firestorm is a series that's out right now as well. Of course, Green Lantern is still out as well. So yeah, those are some of the books he wrote for. But he took over a book, Swampthing, after Veach left. So there's a Swampthing re-release that's going on now right now that's real important to me in my collection. Mm-hmm. But this guy took over after they left because Veach got into an argument with DC about this Christian content that he was about to put out in his Swamp Thing books, and they wanted him to edit it and redo some stuff, and he didn't want to. So they ended up just like quitting out of the blue.
Wow.
And those books never saw the light of day. And that was like 25 years ago. And recently, about 3 months ago, they got permission and they're releasing this stuff through DC. It's called Swamp Thing 88, which is everybody was waiting and chomping at the bits for this to come out. And it's just as good. It's worth the 25-year wait. But this man right here took over the book as the penciler on the fly when they left.
Wow.
And another cool, maybe I'll just go ahead and talk about this. Let me see what picture's next real quick. Oh, this is him autographing the book. This is Bronze Star. The book.
So was he surprised that you knew, or did you talk about some of this stuff with him? Was he surprised that you knew that much detail related to his work?
This man's a workhorse. He didn't mention much on the drama of them leaving. He said that he was not part of DC when that was happening, so he wasn't working with them at the time. So after they left, he came in, so he didn't get any experience of the drama that happened at the time. Yeah. But I did bring it up, and I thought it was cool because some of the books that I brought him to sign were his books during that time.
Okay.
But yeah, we talked for an hour and a half. I kneeled down at the front of this table on a knee so that I can hear him. I don't hear real well, so I have to get close. And so I'm like this the whole time. And it got kind of noisy in there as the hour and a half went. And he's not real loud spoken. Anyway, so I'm in table. I'm in to what he was saying. And I heard we talked about dogs, we talked about marriage, we talked about kids and houses. I had to listen to some of the stories, and it's cool to hear him talk. He's from Florida. He spent some time here living in Dallas after the comic crash in the late 90s. He worked at an ad agency in Dallas for a few years. So I got to hear a cool story about his experience going through the pop of the comic bubble in the 90s after Jim Lee and Todd left and people. There was too many comic books going out, costing too much money, and DC had to Marvel ended up filing for bankruptcy as well. He also had to file for bankruptcy because he was getting paid good money drawing for Marvel and DC at the time. And after the crash, he got laid off. And he said that he bought a big house and he was having kids and they had cars and stuff. And then after that happened, he struggled. Oh, his son was having medical problems with a sinus infection that was going through his sinus cavity. So I listened to him talk about that as well. So got to hear about his work-life balance.
Yeah.
And then I kept working in like, hey, what kind of tools do you use? Like, where do you get your comic paper and stuff like that? I did open the books and ask him specifically. I'll save that story for a minute.
Yeah.
For a minute though, but
yeah,
it was huge. It was huge for me. It was just a special moment for me to get to talk to him because he's a legend.
Yeah,
it was really neat.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Did I mention? Yeah. Did I have any unfinished sentences there? I was jumping around a lot.
Not that I could think of. It sounds like y'all covered a whole lot of ground. That is really cool.
It was cool. And I have a really cool story that I wanted to talk about with him, but I wanted to bring out the books and show with that. So I'm gonna move on real quick.
All right, let's do it.
She's the first person that I took a picture with in the con. And I thought it was cool because she looked like a demon and I'm Constantine. I'm not even sure she knew who Constantine was.
I was going to ask if there's anybody that recognized you.
A lot of people recognized me, and It was a lot of fun. A lot of people, I'm going to have to do a Google search and find out. But there was a 50-50. Some people recognized me in Constantine early on, but I was getting like 50-50. There was another character from Supernatural. I don't know if you've ever seen this show, but it's definitely, we've all heard of it.
Yeah.
I've never watched it either, but now I'm going to have to. This might be something I'm going to have to serialize me watching Supernatural and chit-chat about it online. Because I was getting called this Cassel, who's an angel in Supernatural, like another character who's an angel, but apparently he sports a trench coat and has a nice pair of pants and a tie. I'm going to have to get a thinner tie for my Constantine outfit. I was thinking like how I can tweak this outfit so that people don't confuse me with another character. There's thousands of other trench coat characters here. Thinking maybe
I could see that. Yeah, I could see how they may have mistaken you for him. I mean, it's exactly what you're wearing: is the trench coat, the tie, the white shirt.
Yeah. So it's not real obvious. But I did get a lot of people who nailed it right on the head. And I was prepared. Awesome. My whole idea of coming to this, I wanted to meet Pat and I wanted to be Constantine. And I took a bag full of Constantine comic books that I had some duplicates from my collection. And anybody who was like, John or Constantine yelling out to me, I broke them off. And people were like, this for free? And I was like, man, hey, you know who I was. I'm hooking you up. So I did get to take some pictures and hand out some books today.
Very cool.
And now I have to go find out who this other character is. But she's dressed as a character from Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she said that she reads the books. She hasn't read the graphic novel yet, but so the graphic novel is something new for Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Okay.
But what's something brand new is last Wednesday, they released issue number 1 of the comic book for Dungeon Crawler Carl, which is going to re-serialize the actual story in the graphic novel in a single issue comic book. The graphic novels, I guess it's more of a manga than it is a graphic novel. So it's manga style. Comic book's going to be comic book style. There's probably going to be some cartoons and some TV shows out for this book because it's huge right now.
Yeah, my little brother is named Adam, and he's got a buddy named Carl. And I asked if his buddy Carl had been called Dungeon Crawler Carl yet, and he's like, I don't know if he has or not, but he was, at least for, he didn't. It's not necessarily something he reads or something that he's taken in yet, but he was at least familiar at face value with the name, the moniker Dungeon Crawler Carl.
He does D&D too. Him and his friends do D&D together.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of the space that this book exists in. What else I got?
Yeah, I don't think anything else is related.
Those two images are cool. Oh, maybe I just talk about them now. It's not related to the con, but today, after I got back from the Comic Con, I was posting some of these pictures, checking my Facebook notifications, see if I had any new followers that I could chit chat with. And Eric, I don't know, do you know who Eric Larson is?
I don't.
Eric Larson took over Spider-Man after Todd McFarlane left.
Okay.
And when Todd McFarlane left, he left behind Venom, which is a character that he created, right? He did that with the black suit. He's the one that's known for turning the black suit into Venom. Todd McFarlane is. So Eric Larson took over when Todd left for Amazing Spider-Man. And Eric Larson's famous for a lot of things, but what I know him for is his additions to Venom. He bulked up Venom to the big hulking creature. He also added the long lashing licking tongue.
Yeah.
And because before that, this is Todd McFarlane's Venom.
Yeah.
Here. He's got the small tongue.
Mm-hmm.
He's got this creepy smile, big eyebrow. In the book, he's not really that much bigger than Spider-Man.
Right.
And the tongue has got a normal-sized tongue. Eric Larson is known for adding the large tongue and the green Venom.
Yeah.
So the iconic cover that you see, or T-shirts that you see a lot, is Venom's face with the long tongue and the green drip.
Uh-huh.
That's Eric Larson. I'm checking my stuff, and Eric Larson mentioned me in a comment. And I was like, what? Is this Eric Larson? Eric Larson's talking to me on Facebook?
Yeah.
So after the incredible day I had, I got an exciting notification from Facebook saying, Eric Larson mentioned me in a comment somewhere.
What he hit you up on?
He hit me up. I know. So Amazing Spider-Man is coming up on a huge milestone. They're coming up on their 1000th issue.
Yeah.
And so they're having these huge book. It's a book. How many pages? It's like 110 pages in this book. It's going to be $10. And they're having all these artists from the past and the relevant artists from the future. There's a lot of iconic people that are creating variant covers for this book.
Yeah.
And he posted his book cover for it.
Is it this one?
Yeah, it is that one.
I just pulled it up. I did a Facebook search on him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's Eric Larson's cover for Spider-Man 1000.
Very cool.
And I was looking at it; it's cool. And if you look at the book, I don't know if that's the one that has the price on it and the number.
Yeah, it says $9.99.
Yeah, I was like, it would have been. I like the $9.99 price. Nobody wants to pay $10 even for a book, but
right,
1000th issue.
You think it would have looked good with the $10 and the 1,000?
Yeah. So you get the 1000, 1000 up in that top corner would look nice. And he called it. He said, I believe it's 100 pages long. Seems appropriate. So I think I thought the book was too expensive or something. But like, I'm not trying to give Eric Larson a hard time. I admire him. He's an icon. I bowed. I kissed the ground that this man walks on where the comic books go. And so I had to retry to explain myself. I'm not going to explain it much more than this to him. I'm sure he's got busy things to do. I'm surprised he responded to me at all, but that was exciting. We're like, what? Eric Larson's talking to me after a day at the con?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, he thinks I'm busting his balls. So
the book's too expensive, Eric. That painting send me over the edge.
Yeah, some of these variant covers are going to be more than $10 once they hit the market, and then we can all start complaining. This man here, works for Disney currently,
Interesting.
and he did the Ursula. I know the other day you're a Disney fan. We were talking about some Marvel is releasing Disney villain comic books, and he recently did the Ursula book. On my, I have some other pictures and videos that I'm going to be posting from TikTok onto YouTube of him. He was steady drawing. There was lines in front of his booth, and those are all the pictures. Let me reach back here and grab my bag real quick. But I like this guy. He actually said that he works for Disney, not just as an illustrator, but as a consultant.
Yeah.
Right now, he's drawn covers. This is an Absolute Batman book that I bought from him. This is an Absolute Batman #5, which is the biggest selling comic book in the industry right now. It's breaking all kinds of records.
Yeah.
He did a variant cover for #5. It was limited to 1,000 copies.
Oh.
He had 2. He said that there was 2 left. I bought #2 and left 1 left on the shelf. And he signed it for me. Dude, this man signed. I had to buy this book, but he signed maybe 10 things for me.
Oh, wow.
Without complaining at all. While he was drawing at his table nonstop. I suffer for a bit of ADD like most people. This man has a tremendous amount of focus.
Yeah.
He's putting out quality artwork on blank comic book covers, going back, signing books, going back to work, finishing his covers. He's going to San Diego Comic Con soon, so I'm sure he's working on artwork and stuff to go sell.
Right.
San Diego's like the Super Bowl of Comic Cons, and he said that's where he's going to end up in soon.
Very cool.
So I got some stuff signed for you, sir. I'm gonna get this stuff in the mail to you. I know you got some books you want to mail to me too, so maybe it's time
for me.
Swap. Yeah, you said you had some stuff.
Yeah,
you got Lorcana stuff you want to send to me.
I do.
It's so tough getting to the post office.
It really is.
It's fun to buy the stuff and imagine you're going to send it, and then you actually got to package it and mail it somewhere.
Yeah.
Which is why
Hope it gets there in one piece.
Yeah. That's why Grandma gets no letters in the mail. How can I do this? We're going to.
You maximize your screen to hold up the stuff you got, or is that what you want to do?
I can add this one. I'm going to remove this one. How can I put this on main stage?
You could just make yourself big screen. Yeah, there you go. That works.
Oh, that's all me?
Yeah.
Hi, here's the goodie bag. This is some really low quality. I'm going to have to work on this quality. Is it bad for you? It's a little
no, it's not. I mean, it looks fine. You could probably just go to the other cam and make it big screen if you want the full picture.
Yeah,
or if you just want to stick with.
I like this up and down. This looks like I got some really long stuff I want to show.
All right, cool.
We'll just roll. Let
it ride.
I got so much cool stuff in this bag, dude. You're gonna love it. Everybody's gonna love this segment. I got some custom stuff in here. I got a lot of cool stuff. So, $60 VIP pass at the Cowtown Comic Con got me this tote.
It's a nice tote.
Yeah, and I was so excited to see Pat Broderick. I didn't look in the tote. They gave it to me, and I just V-lined to Pat, so I didn't have to wait in line. And I wanted to talk to him because I knew I had a lot of things to say, and I wanted to catch him fresh.
Right.
He said he woke up at 4:00, just like every other 70-year-old man, and had drank like 5 cups of coffee. So when I met him, he was bright and bushy-tailed.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the poster he signed for me. This is his new book that he's working on. Here's some examples of his artwork and skills.
Wow. Yeah, that detail's crazy.
It's incredible. It's called Bronze Star. It's about a sheriff in a western town.
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, oh, it's not just that. There's also a Hydra somewhere
Right.
up in the storylines, which sounds a little more interesting than a normal Western.
Right.
So apparently it's like a bit of a Witcher.
Yeah.
Here's another poster. He hooked me up with 2 posters.
I saw that one in the signing picture
There's
on the table.
Bottom. Is that it's right here. Saw some more mythical creature work here. These were the first purchases I made because that was the whole reason I went. This is another book he worked on.
Oh, cool.
This is an Alpha Flight. Alpha Flight. You know about Alpha Flight?
I don't.
It's pretty much it's Canadian. It's a Canadian team.
Well, I saw the flag on it.
Yeah, Canadian superhero team.
Alpha
Flight. And there's no one of note in this issue. So we all know Wolverine's from Canada. At some point, Wolverine joins this team, which is who we all want to see on a Canadian team.
Right.
Him and Deadpool. All right, they put some cards in there. Some of these artists were here at the con.
Yeah.
So they put some of this in here.
Cool.
And you can take them over to the artist. The artist will sign them. I did get signatures from these artists. I didn't have them sign these works.
Yeah.
They gave me this Venom War.
Ooh.
#1. The artist who did this book was supposed to be there, but they were not there. It's Miko Suyan. But this artwork is incredible. This artwork's phenomenal. And this is one of the first things I noticed in the bag when I started going through the bag, and I was like, I love Venom, and you get all the good Venoms right on this cover.
Yeah, it's super cool.
You got Agent Venom, who's Agent Anti-Venom. You got the female version of Venom. You got the movie version of Venom down here. All the Venoms you like. But I didn't get that one signed. But I have a Venom War poster up on the wall here. They gave you this lanyard with this VIP pass, which I don't have in here. We're going to put that in there. We're going to put that paper's in here somewhere. I had it signed because the artist, they were smart enough to have Peter, who was on the screen a second ago, the guy from Disney.
Yeah.
He made the VIP badge.
Ooh.
So I took the badge out of the lanyard and had him sign it for me.
Sign it. Very nice.
There's the
book.
There's the book. Maybe me and Jessica can read this. Maybe me and Jessica could read that book together. I have no shortage of creepy books at my house. A Dark Horse pen.
Cool.
What's in here? We'll save that one for one of the last.
All right.
That was an unexpected purchase. Here's some of Peter's work.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. His signature, he didn't like this one. I told him it was okay because he had already signed like 8 or 10 things for me. The signature's in blue right here.
Yeah.
He made it, but this is his too.
It's pretty sick.
You got the signature down here.
That's awesome.
These are the cardstock. This came in for free in the VIP bag.
Oh, nice.
So, and he was more than willing to sign that for free. So it was $60 for me, but pretty much free signature.
Yeah, complimentary.
Yeah, he was giving free signatures for purchases. He may have been giving free signatures to everybody. This is a Universal Monsters book. So you just recently went to Universe.
Yeah. I've been to Epic Universe twice, and the Dark Universe section called Darkmoor is highlighted ride there is the Frankenstein experiment, and so that's really cool.
Yeah. So these are some of the perks from him working for Disney. He gets to work on stuff park related. Is that Universal? That's not Disney.
Universal, yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I feel like they own a percentage of Universal.
Yeah, it wasn't always that way, right? They joined something.
I'm not sure what the timeline is on that, actually.
No, is that where the Jaws thing is?
Well, the Jaws ride is at Universal Studios Hollywood now because they closed it down in Florida because they created Diagon Alley.
Is that a good trade? That's a good trade.
It's tough because Jaws is pretty classic, but Diagon Alley's awesome. I mean, it's like stepping into the movie, so it's tough to give up Jaws, but they did such a stinking good job on Diagon Alley that it's like, all right, I guess if we had to let it go, at least what they replaced it with was awesome.
Yeah, I feel like that's the legacy ride.
Yeah,
is the Jaws. Like all the commercials and stuff I remember growing up with Universal Studios was Jaws jumping out of the water. Yeah. Well, Diagon Alley's pretty awesome itself. I had him actually write my name on this one. You can see.
Very cool.
So a lot of people will go to cons and ask people to sign things, and sometimes an artist will sign their work for a fee, but if they because collectors are going up there and they're going to resell the books for money.
Right.
But I heard a trick where like if you just have them write your name on it, which makes it less value.
Yep.
For resale, they might do it for free.
Yeah.
And this isn't a big resale book anyway.
Right.
So, but like this, I had such a great time interacting with him. I asked him to go ahead and write my name.
Personalize it.
Yeah. This is a G.I. Joe.
That's neat.
This is a cover that he did also. Got some G.I. Joe ladies. This was free in the bag. The monster book, the Frankenstein book was free in the bag. It's got a $20 price tag on it. So he was selling this book for $20 to people.
Came in the bag.
Yeah. So that's $20 off the $60 fee. Also, this one's also marked $20. He did this cover. So I guess that's how these are not $20 books. This is a $5 book at the comic store. So he's pricing them for $20 and then signing them for people.
Yeah.
This is his setup. But I got this one for free signature. Also. So that's already $40 of work.
Right.
Here's the
Absolute Batman.
This one I paid for. And he did not write my name on this. And I probably would like to resell this book. This is the limited to 1,000 print. And it's got his signature on it. So there's only 1,000 of these. This Batman book is in the over 1 million prints for Absolute Batman. This to give an idea of how many books, like 1,000 is a very small number when it comes to comic printing, especially Absolute Batman. And something DC does, I'm going to highlight this real quick since we're talking about it. I got more books and stuff in here. I got a lot of stuff, but I'm going to show this off real quick for Comic Nerd. And we're already at 43 minutes. You having a great time?
Yeah.
If I drop this, I'm going to be so mad. I bought some stuff for resale and dropped them. Like you get them in a fat stack and I'm taking pictures on eBay and they slide off the shelf and I dent like 5 books. This happened to me with my Absolute Batman books. This DC is not just giving variant covers. They're adding this nice cardstock. This paper has got some bounce to it. It's a nice cardstock cover that they're stapling to the outside of the original book. So you get this. You get to have the original cover. This is a first print of Batman, Absolute Batman #5, which probably goes for like $20 on eBay by itself. And when you buy the variant books, which are a little bit more, I'm not sure this has a price tag on it since it's an exclusive for him.
Right.
There's no price tag on it. You can only get it through Peter. You see the exclusive Peter Smith. That's the first time I've said his last name. So his name is Peter Smith.
Mm.
If you want to look them up or enjoy. So this is a number 5. Scott Snyder, Dragona. This Absolute Batman's getting an animation that just started production. Everybody's super excited about that. Anyway, applause to DC for setting their books up like this, because I hate buying 2 books. I like a variant cover, but I also want the original for historical reasons. And we get both from
That's
DC.
great.
Shout out to great ideas at DC, whoever come up with that idea. So this is an artist exclusive book. They also have retailer exclusive books. There was other retailers there that were selling books, so you chance only that retailer, your comic book shop, will have a certain cover, which is something we can talk about at a later time. There's a lot of details about that. Retailers are gouging books, retailer exclusives, because they're hiring specific artists for their shop and getting the okay from the publisher to publish those books. This is an old graphic novel. This is Ayn Rand. Ayn Rand is a classic author. Ayn Rand. What did Ayn Rand write? It's a vampire series. Interview with a Vampire. Ayn Rand is known for writing Interview with the Vampire, which is also a TV show. Recently, it's a movie. Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise. Anyway, this is a adaptation of one of her books called Anthem. This came free in the book. Are you Googling who Ayn Rand is?
Yeah, 1938. Anthem.
Yeah, so they threw that in the bag. That was cool to get a little trade paperback.
Yeah,
from Ayn Rand. Here's these guys are from Duncanville in Dallas. This is some independent work from a guy from Duncanville. We're in the southeast DFW area in the 20, 287, 35 triangle. The illustrator for this book is from Duncanville.
That's awesome.
And some really nice artwork. What's cool about these guys, normally, and I'm not pointing the fingers or blaming anybody for this, but normally when you buy an indie book from a creator directly, especially at a Comic Con or even on their websites, the creative process for one person or 2 people to come out with a comic book is a tremendous amount of work.
Right.
And effort, and you have to pay for your own publishing. You don't get to print so many books, so the printing is expensive.
Yeah.
He gave me this issue for free.
Wow.
The artist was there. The writer was there, the creator. And
Mm-hmm.
the artist, this artist for this book was there. He signed it for me, which is cool. So I wish him the best of luck. Phenomenal artwork in this book.
That's really cool.
And I bought this for $15, which is on par for a trade paperback at the store. Nice, thick, nice quality.
Oh, wow.
A lot of pages in this book. Nice cover. There's some texture to it for some reason. Probably shouldn't have texture, but nice, tough, nice hardcover. The artist that was there did not do the illustrations inside this book.
Oh, okay.
But the writer was super excited about this book and to show me this book because it has some local shout outs to some of the local environments in the DFW area. Here, look at this.
That's really neat.
Hey, check this out. Some David and Goliath action.
Whoa.
Like that. Any references there? Appreciate it. But this is, he made a point to show me this. This is an oil company from the 30s that he used to, he had the idea to create some ads in his book because he doesn't have any advertisers in his book since he's an independent artist. But he wanted to simulate the ad space in this book, so he created his own ads that are related to the book. So this book is a lot about climate and the evolution of man. Yeah. He made up this scenario where these robots are walking the earth, these automated robots, and they're sensing for oil. And if they find one, they drill in and get the oil. But this ad that he copied here is from an actual company, Smart Oil Thinks for Itself, and it's based on an actual Corsicana oil company from back in the day. That did not come free. I bought that one. I mentioned that already. Let's see if there's any other free stuff in here. The card stocks I said I did not get signed. One of them was made by this guy here. I bought this book for $10 from him. He signed it for me. This is an actual Image comic book, and it has some Ice Cream Man references. And if there's any fans of Ice Cream Man that have made it this far into a stream, this guy did an issue of the Ice Cream Man. And this is an Image comic book that he did a variant cover for. And this is his style of artwork. And this is kind of what he was there selling. And Ha Ha is a spin-off book from Ice Cream Man. And this is a character. I don't know if this is allowed. I'm going to have to blur this out. Is that allowed? I don't know.
I have no clue. We'll roll with it.
You can you notice this is Prince, Morzalo, and Hullerin. These are Ice Cream Man writers and creators and artists. This is his variant cover and throwback to this book. He said a cool little serendipitous story about this book is he got a request to do a variant cover, and he didn't know the content. He knew it was for Ice Cream Man, but he didn't know the content or a character in the Ice Cream Man universe. But he didn't know the content of the book. But his original artwork has clowns and stuff in it, and he was a fan of Ice Cream Man, so he threw in some of his clowns onto the cover of this book, and little did he know this book is about the clown character from Ice Cream Man. So he was like, wow. He was like, oh, he was excited as anybody. He looked like a kid in the candy shop when he was telling me this story. I was like, oh, we love those moments.
That's super cool.
I made a video the other day about Ed Brubaker, and sometimes you come across these really cool serendipitous moments as a collector, an artist, or a reader. Yeah. And that was one for him that was really cool. I have another story. My Pat Broderick story has a really special twist like that as well. We're getting to that. This is a book from a local artist. This guy's from Fort Worth. He works at the library. He's also an employee at Collective Comics in Fort Worth. Okay. Chris and Kim, who owns Collective Comics, are the ones who put on Cowtown Comic Con. So he was an employee of theirs for a while. Yeah. And Ben, I've never been there. I'm not from Fort Worth, but I feel like I need to go visit it now. But he's a kid. He's like in his 20s. He wrote this book and hired an artist to do the illustrations. It's in a Magnola style, the guy who created Hellboy. Yeah. The dark and black Victorian shadows. So I bought all the issues that he had to offer. I met him at Mansfield Cards and Comics because he knows Ben, who owns the store, who used to work in Collective Comics also, which is a cool story. It is cool. This is Chris's artwork. This is Peach Momoko's artwork. And you probably don't know who Peach Momoko is, but she's a super famous variant artist. So she doesn't have any books of her own, but I believe she has a story in the new Spider-Man 1000th issue, which is going to be a series of short stories. Yeah. So we're going to get to see her a story and like artwork and an interior of a book, but normally she does exterior work. And Chris has a book called The Ferryman, the guy who owns Collective Comics also has an book called The Ferryman. This card was in the tote. And I got him. I hunted him down at the last minute and had Chris sign this card for me.
Nice.
Chris, the owner of Cowtown,
Yeah.
who puts on Cowtown with his wife and owns Collective Comics, also does The Ferryman. And Peach Momoko is huge, dude. And she did this a long time ago for him. I don't know if you Googled her artwork or not, but I'll showcase her. I have some books of hers. We'll make some videos about that in the future. But she's huge right now. And she's going to be in Spider-Man 1000. So if you want to get a chance to.
Very cool.
This is William Russell's artwork. This cardstock was in the bag also.
Nice.
He was there.
Oh, wow.
This is a super freaky cover. This is a cover that he did for Chris for the Ferryman. So this is also the Ferryman. See the hood,
Yeah.
the skull. The Ferryman is obviously from the Greek mythology.
Yeah.
So they have classic horror storytelling in their books. I bought a book from William Russell also, which I might be afraid to even show on camera. For some reason, maybe I threw it on the side, threw it aside early. It's terrifying looking. Did I show off my Spider-Man book yet?
Not yet.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the beauty.
Let's do it.
Let's think, where is that? If I drop this book, I'll surely cry. This one's been a long time running. This is Venom's first cover. Got this nice vellum card. This cover. Look how shiny, extra shiny. This is the covers that I use. See how the wrinkles in it?
Yeah.
That was kind of foggy. This is what a nice cover looks like.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice.
This is it. This is the beauty. I'm going to stick this in with my Secret Wars 8 and my other Venom keys, my Venom #1, Lethal Protector and stuff. Love Todd McFarlane. Love Venom.
Big addition to the collection.
Yeah. It's always rough to see Spider-Man get pounced on, but there he is again. I bought this book with him at the same time. This is a 3D book.
Oh.
By Joe Kubert. This book was published in '88. It's thick. I haven't looked at it yet, but this was only $5.
Yeah.
This is where I started. Jeff, the guy that sold me the Amazing Spider-Man 316, threw this in for free. I was going to buy it, but he threw it in for free.
Sweet.
What a guy. All right. I'm at the end of this pile. Let me show you one. Check this out, bro.
Whoa.
You like Pops? This is a John Constantine. I talked to this guy by accident. I have some videos I'm going to post on YouTube Shorts probably tonight or tomorrow morning. But this guy had a bunch of – this is a print. It looks like it's a marker drawing, but it's actually a print. He did these by marker, but he had a big Shadow Man. Shadow Man is an obscure character that very little to no one cares about, but I have some Shadow Man in my collection because most of my collection is dark and obscure anyway. Yeah. And I asked him if he did the cover for that book, and it looks really similar to this, like this marker style writing. It's real colorful and stuff.
Yeah.
He did a wraparound cover for Shadow Man. And he had catalogs and posters and prints all out over his stuff. And he recognized my costume. This is exactly what I look like.
That's awesome.
I got the red tie, the blue pants, trench coat, and everything. The messy hair.
Yeah.
$10 for this huge print. This huge.
Neat.
Yeah. By a guy who did a cover for Shadow Man. That's really cool. Oh, I just found that creepy book. Speaking of dark and shadowy collection pieces, They had some stickers, Cowtown Comic Con stickers. Here's my VIP badge, which needs to make it in the protective case.
Sick.
That's the Absolute Batman 5 signature down at the bottom. Cowtown VIP.
Set that on top of your table with the lanyard.
Yeah, let's get that.
There you go.
We're going to hardcover this Pokemon style right now.
Just leave it up. There it is.
Did it. This is Psycho Sal. He's a friend of Chris's, or another artist that they work together. They write these horror books like The Ferryman.
Yeah.
And this is Psycho Sal, which is terrifying.
Very creepy.
He had different versions of this book. He had like foil versions. He had like super red versions that they look like blood. It's like the blood version. This guy was intense. I have him on video and some of his other stuff on video also that I'll be posting on here. But this is a Cowtown Comics exclusive print. It's got the Cowtown Comics. This is actually on the page, printed on the page, which is cool. I didn't want to buy this book. I don't know what's inside this book. I don't know what the art looks like. But he was nice enough to sign it for me. He's the one that told me about Chris, the owner, and told me about the Ferryman. And then after I talked to him, I went and searched down Chris, and Chris was nice enough to talk to me.
Nice.
Also. All right, I'm at the bottom of the bag. How you doing? You hanging in there? You ready for this?
Doing good, man. Yeah, what else we got? What else we got?
All right, we got one last thing. These are the books that I took to Comic-Con to have signed, and it ended up being a more incredible experience than I could have imagined. I mean, now that I say that, I can imagine an even better experience, but it turned out better than I thought. I was a little shy to go and talk and meet this man. He's a stranger to me. I'm a stranger to him. And we ended up talking for like an hour and a half and about something that I care deeply about. So this is Swampthing 91. Swampthing 91. Is this good?
Very nice.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you. And this is Swampthing upside down. It's a Swampthing 90.
That's pretty sick.
All right. So talked about Swampthing ending at 88.
Yeah.
Right. So this is Patrick Broddick's work. He didn't do these covers. He did the pencils inside these books.
Uh-huh.
Total Ben, who's a legendary artist that's been working with Swamp Thing since Alan Moore's run in the 80s. These books are 1989 and 1990. The run got ended, and these were the next books that came out after the run ended. So they're not people were a little sore. People were a little sore about the whole thing, the way it ended.
Right.
Which I would love to go in depth about it another time. But for today's purpose, I want to show off this particular cover. I had 4 issues. I had 2 copies of this. I had these 2 copies and 2 duplicates of these books. And I told myself, I brought some other books with me to give away, and I wanted to take these books. These are books that you get out of the dollar bin. So I probably paid $2 to $3 for these books. So they're not real expensive purchases to make.
Right.
Find them. So I wanted to give him 2. So at the very beginning of our conversation, I told him, I was like, hi, I'm Daryl. I told him I'd follow him on social media and I would chit chat with him. Yeah. And I gave him the 2 books. It's like, hey, I wanted to give you these books. Like, I'm a big Swamp Thing fan. I know you through Swamp Thing. And he said, I want to make sure I don't skip ahead. He's like, oh, thank you very much. And I told him this storyline you see in the cover of this page, you see a woman. Mm-hmm. And got her my finger on her face. and a baby
Yeah.
on this issue. What's so special about this issue is at this point, Swamp Thing and her got married, right?
Yeah.
And Swamp Thing is a mush monster from the swamp, right? So they wanted to have a baby together, and they couldn't have a baby. So Constantine is constantly in and out of Swamp Thing's books. Agrees reluctantly, as you can imagine, to help them have a baby.
Yeah.
So Swamp Thing, look at this tiny baby in this picture, which is funny. Here's Swamp Thing with the baby just lying on the ground.
Yeah.
And the woman's name is Abigail.
Mm-hmm.
So she's a staple in the Swamp Thing story because he's her love interest.
Yeah.
So he gets in and out of trouble and does things, but everything he always comes back to Abigail, and he's gonna have to save her, and like she's more important to him than most people because Swamp Thing is not a person.
Yeah.
Which is an important part of his story too. But what's cool about Patrick Broderick, not only did he do the pencils for this book at last minute after these men left the storyline, but I'd mentioned earlier that he told me some stories about when he was doing well with DC and Marvel and bought his house and started his family. At this time, when he was asked to draw this book, he had a baby.
Mm.
I think my phone died.
Yeah, your screen's frozen up there. You had to swap cams.
Yeah, I'm handsome.
Mm-hmm.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Oh no. I was prepared.
All right, good. I'm glad I made it to the end of the Comic Cam experience. Thank you for Cam for joining us at the show today.
Yeah.
Anyways, cool. Long story short, not only does Swamp Thing mean a lot to me, John Constantine means a lot to me as a character. Swamp Thing, John Constantine's helping out Swamp Thing have a baby with Abigail, which is a special moment in any character's storyline, like Peter Parker having a baby or whatnot. He had a baby, and he used his wife and baby as art references for this book, is what he told me. So I didn't know that at the time, but he told me that while we were talking. So he said, when I gave him those 2 books as a gift, I said, I want you to have these, and I'm going to ask you to sign my books, but I want to give you some extras in case another Swamp Thing lover shows up, and you can give them these books to someone else, kind of paying a little forward, right? Put some good vibes in the universe. He's like, I'm going to give these to my wife. So my wife is a Swamp Thing fan. And that's when he told me the story about using his wife and baby as art references. So his wife,
amazing.
Yeah. In this issue, the baby is born. This is 91 with her on the cover and the baby. The baby's born in 90. She's pregnant. The labor is part of the story. So he gets to draw with him and his wife and his baby the birth of Abigail and their baby using his wife. So he said, my wife is Abigail. Literally. And his baby is the baby. I don't remember the baby's name right now.
Yeah.
Cool story.
That's really awesome.
Yeah. And I had him, Comic Cam's gone, but I had him write my name.
Yeah.
Also. So I won't be reselling this book. I got his signature to Daryl on both of these issues. These will be mine forever, going up on the wall for that. So
I love that. That's really special.
So that's my wonderful experience at Comic Con. Bryce looked about as exhausted as you do right now. Bryce, my sidekick, man. Bryce is wonderful. He's patient with me.
Trooper.
Real trooper. He listens to all my comic book stories when no one else will. Me and him read Dork together, which is a book that comes out once a month. That's great.
Yeah, he made a cameo there in your comic book day haul this past week. snagging the dork and taking off.
Was that cute or what? That's my boy.
Pretty fun.
That's my boy. But he was there with me from 9:30 until 5 o'clock straight. He did go outside and get some food off the food trucks and stuff.
Yeah.
So he did eat and drink water. We do feed him.
That's good. That's important.
Keep him alive.
That's important.
So I probably missed a bunch of stuff that you'll see in some of the videos that I'll be releasing.
Yeah.
But I feel like that was a lot. It was a huge experience for me. I was able to not eat and drink. I wasn't thirsty. People were calling me while I was there. I wasn't answering the phone because I was having so many good interactions with artists and writers. People were noticing me, taking my picture. I really loved the Professor X and Psylocke picture. I had an absolutely fantastic.
That was great.
So I can't wait to put some of this stuff up on my wall. So that was it. And thanks for asking. Normally, when people ask me an innocent question, this is how it ends up.
No, it's man, I'm glad you had a great day. What's on the agenda for tomorrow at the con?
I'm not going. No,
you're not.
Oh,
nope.
No. I have a short story. I'll make this one short. There's a guy. When I first moved to Waxahachie, here we go. Long story. I'm winding back a short answer already. When I first moved to Waxahachie, there's no comic book shops here. And I live close to historical Waxahachie, which sells a lot of antiques. It's known for its antiquing. Texas Country Reporter comes here. Big Al Mack has a restaurant here. In
Meat Church.
Meat Church is something Waxahachie is known for.
Matt Pittman of Meat Church.
Yeah, shout out. I should have tagged him. I should put his hashtag on this video. Shout out to Matt. There was another writer there that was making Matt a pit stop on his tour visit. You got to when you come to Waxahachie.
Yeah.
And a great guy. He actually, I don't know if he lives here anymore, but he did have a house here. He just still does have a house here. Really cool. It's known for, Waxahachie's known for his Victorian houses. They shut down for Halloween. We got the Scarborough Fair. Forgot why I was talking about Waxahachie, but yeah. I do like it here. Oh, there's no comic book shops. So
yeah.
I moved from Arlington, which had Lone Star Comics, and
several.
Lone Star Comics is closed. The Coliseum, Mansfield Comics and Cards, where Ben is from. MTG is a new comic book shop over there. Duncanville Bookstore is not over here, but it's another great shop. Anyway, no comic book shops. So I get flea markets and antique shops to go and try to find my stuff in. And there's this another man. He's like 73 years old. He's a native from the area. He lives in Palmer, but he sells toys and back issues at the Red Barn. Excuse me, at the Red Barn, which is a big flea market here.
I've heard you reference it before.
Oh yeah. Well, he disappeared from the Red Barn. So I would go there. They're closed 2 days a week, but like on Wednesdays or the weekends, I would go to the Red Barn and flea market shop. And I always look forward to grabbing books out of his stuff. Decently priced books, good stuff. And he was gone one day. And I had his phone number on my phone, but I don't even remember his name. But I saw him there. He was super busy. He had a big, maybe like a 2-booth setup there.
Yeah.
And his wife was there. And I didn't get to talk to him because he was talking to people. He's the type of guy who holds court. Like you talk to him, he'll talk to you about the books. He'll talk to you. He'll try to sell you some stuff. He'll talk to you about characters. You're not going to get away easy with this guy. But so he's a Waxahachie staple, and he disappeared from the Red Barn on me, and I was missing him, and I got to see them there. I didn't get to talk to him. When I was leaving, his wife was sitting there by herself, and I was like, where is he? I wanted to say goodbye to him.
Yeah.
And ask him what happened to him. And he ended up saying that, the flea market scene is not the best for him anymore. And he moved some of his books to Mesquite, and he's just doing Comic Cons right now.
Mm.
And Bryce walked up while I was saying goodbye to him, and I was trying to make a point with him. Like, I moved here. There was no bookstores. You were the man.
Yeah.
You're somebody to me.
Right.
I miss your presence, and it was great to see you here. And he said that it's difficult for him to pack and move books around now that he's 72, and he's taller than me. So in his prime, he must have been a big man. He's taller than me now, and he's in his 70s. And he's like, the boxes, the books are just too heavy for him to carry around, you know. And he started having that wind down for the time. Like, he had a lot of long boxes at the show.
Yeah.
And he asked us, he told Bryce, he's like, hey, I'll pay you $50. You help me pack up these books tomorrow. Because we were talking about how difficult it was and why he disappeared, how he might be exiting the scene. So Bryce got thrown some work tomorrow. So
there you go.
Tomorrow, I didn't plan on going to the Comic-Con, but tomorrow about 5 o'clock, I'm going to go help him unpack. Me and Bryce are going to go and help him unpack his store and load it up into his trucks.
Good deal.
Yeah, what a guy, throwing little Bryce a bone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome, man. It's neat that he came back across him after, you know, extended absence, you know, not really knowing his situation. It's really cool he's still in the game too.
Yeah, I was happy to see him. Anything I can do to help out somebody who's I think he made some money in the medical field, maybe through equipment or sales or something.
Yeah.
So he's not like a lifelong comic book salesperson, but he brought up Hastings, that he brought a collection from Hastings. I don't know if y'all remember Hastings, but I
remember Hastings.
How long has that been gone? So he said he was traveling to El Paso to a show, and on his way there, he was stopping at different stores and came across a shop that was closing down and bought their whole inventory.
Wow.
And he was like, I got one over on this guy who thought he knew books at Hastings because I sold him 70 long boxes of garbage books for $100 each.
Wow.
What a character. What a little, he must be a bit of a menace.
Right.
About it. But Hastings is a big corporation. So anything you can do to get over on the man. Apparently there used to be a Hastings over here somewhere.
Yeah.
That's how long he's been in the game.
That's funny. I feel good, as I feel like I sold some video games to them back in the day on the dirt cheap, and I couldn't tell you what they were now, but I'm sure they're probably worth more money than they were definitely worth more money than what I got for them. I can remember like telling my dad asking me like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" I said, "Yeah." And then I remember them cashing me out, realizing how much I got, them cashing me out and walking out of the store and being like, oh, feel like they got me. But anyway, it was, yeah, good. Glad to hear somebody got one over on Hastings.
Poor Hastings.
So, yeah. I feel like, Hastings went away sometime when I was in college, because I remember visiting one. There's a picture of me out there in social media somewhere wearing a Darth Vader helmet in a Hastings. So that's but I feel like they didn't survive all the way through my collegiate career. So
yeah, you're young, man. That sounds more recent than I thought. I do.
Right. I mean, it's probably,
I've been here Waxahachie for 5 years. I don't see any remnants of a building that used to look like a Hastings.
Yeah, I mean that's a ballpark somewhere between 2010, 2014ish. So somewhere in there.
Dating yourself live on YouTube. Hastings. I guess GameStop took them out. Well, yeah. What else?
Any other notes from Cowtown Comic Con to day one to close it out?
Well, when I showed up to Cowtown Comic Con, there wasn't very many people there. I showed up kind of early. There was a fresh squeezed lemonade stand opening up in the front of the store. There was a smoke pit cooking some barbecue out, prepping lunch for everybody. So it's always a good sign when you see a smoke pit and a lemonade stand outside the doors. So
Right.
there was a coffee truck out there too. So the Holy Trinity right there. I don't know. Maybe chips and salsa is part of that Trinity somewhere. I don't know which one I would give up. Maybe lemonade.
Yeah.
Definitely not giving up coffee. I don't know. I don't know what your Trinity of snacks are, but it's always good sign to see a barbecue smoker outside of an event you got to go to.
Right.
I go in. It's a little before 9:30. There's a VIP line. They check my name off a list. 9:30 gets in. I V-line to Pat, and then the rest is history. So I had a great time. When I left, the sun was going down.
Man, that's exciting. I'm glad you had a great day. What's your? Is this I guess could you count it on one hand? I mean, how many cons have you been to in the past? Like ballpark.
I've been to one major con. I drove from here to San Antonio to do a con with a friend. So the big con circuit will visit a town in Texas or two. And that year it was in San Antonio. So
okay.
I drove down to San Antonio. Other than that, I normally do like the super local stuff, like the Cowtown Comic Con.
Yeah.
NTX will be the first one I do it. NTX is significantly bigger than Cowtown. There's a roster of celebrities. I don't know. I'm not going to name any celebrities. I don't know who's going to be there. But while I was at this con, people were like, you should go. If you like this one, it's going to be like 4 times bigger. There's going to be some there's more artists and stuff there.
Yeah.
There's a free con that they put on so often. It seems like twice a month in Arlington, close to the stadiums at the Dottie Lynn Recreation Center, one of the rec centers that's close to the stadiums. And it's free. So you get to meet a lot of local Arlington people at that con.
Cool. Let's see. There's the Texas comic shows, the NTX comic show, August 8th and 9th in Louisville at the NTX Arena. Kay Bailey, and also there's another one. I was thinking. Was it October 16th through 18th? There's NTX Universe Comic Cards and More, Kay Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center in Dallas.
That's a big place.
Just trying to look and see if I could find the ones you had mentioned via Google search.
The NTX one is the North Texas.
Okay.
North Texas one. I know they're doing a big Pokemon thing. I think there's a big card show. There was one that just came to the convention center, a big Pokemon card show.
I think the Dallas card show, like the big one, was this past weekend, or this weekend actually, I believe.
Yeah, and they do stuff at the Waxahachie Civic Center as well. You may have seen signs for the Waxahachie Gun Show. They do that a lot. Competitive with so they do lots of events. But normally I don't make trips. I would love to. I don't know how much it might be exhausting to go to San Diego. Everybody's going to be hearing about the news and following up with They do like press releases and stuff at the San Diego con.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah, everybody's looking forward to any kind of news or reviews or stuff that comes out of that. So I've been to that one in San Antonio once, which was a lot of fun.
Very cool.
I dressed as, I think I wore a Cobra Kai costume.
Nice.
When I did that one. Sweep the leg. The leg.
I've never been to a con before. And it's not that I hadn't wanted to go. It's just that never really prioritized it. I like they do small ones in the area. I'm kind of surprised to do as many as the small shows as they do in the area. I think they did some sort of small con-ish type event in Texarkana and like within the last few weeks. And I think like Devon Dudley from the Dudley Boys was there. And somebody else. but I was shocked because I was like, it's very unexpected. I don't know if it was JBL or who it was, but I was surprised that they were out this way. Oh, it's Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. Devon Dudley and Ted DiBiase were here last month for HypeCon out toward Texarkana. But yeah, there's stuff out in Shreveport. Yeah, I'm more northeast Texas ish. So there's stuff in Texarkana, stuff in Shreveport, Bossier City, stuff in Longview, and so there's these things just kind of pop up as the year goes on. But it would be fun to go to a bigger show. I don't know, I don't know what I'd do costume wise. I feel like I would need to wear some sort of costume. I think Jillian would like to do one of the big shows. I don't know if she'd do a costume, but I think she'd like to do some of the big shows because she's, she watches a ton of TV and does, some of the big shows, they have like actors and stuff out at it. And so, I'm sure if she could meet like Nathan Fillion, she would freak out. But anyway, so at some point I'd like to make it to a con. But I'm really glad you had such an awesome time. It's really neat. You got a lot of face time.
I think Nick Dragata is going to be at the NTX show. Who's another celebrity? I'm surprised that you brought up another wrestler. Also, I guess wrestlers are making a point.
Well, they do a lot of the wrestlers do a lot of the con style appearances. They just pop up all over the place. I want to say, I was talking with a buddy because Monday Night Raw is coming to Bossier City. They call it Shreveport, Bossier City. I mean, but anyway, Monday Night Raw is coming to Bossier City for, I think they said, for the first time since like 2007. They haven't been out in that area, in almost 20 years. But they've got a show coming in October, and my buddy had told me there's going to be some sort of con around the time that they come through town, and that Kane is going to make an appearance there. I'm like, man, that's really cool.
Kane's a good one.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sick. It's hilarious to think that he has been a mayor in Tennessee for the last few years.
What?
Yeah. His name is Glenn Jacobs.
When you said he's been a mayor, I was beginning to be surprised. And then when you said Tennessee, I was less surprised.
Oh, man. It's hilarious that he's been involved in politics for the last few years.
Wrestlers making moves in politics is not a new occurrence.
Yeah. I mean, Jesse Ventura, I think, governor of Minnesota, maybe years ago. Pretty wild.
Yeah, that is wild. And I remember being surprised about that. And surprised, I know Arnold Schwarzenegger's not a wrestler, but these are some bodybuilding men making their moves and splashing around in the politics. So
right,
Kane is a good. I would have been excited to see some Kane,
right?
Some Undertaker at a con,
right? Oh man,
or Steven.
Yeah.
Scared to see Austin at a con.
Oh yeah, the Stone Cold would be insane.
I'm trying to think of other wrestlers. Buff Bagwell was something I recognized. I don't know if I'm not sure which. I'm not a big. I don't crush on celebrities or actors very much.
Yeah,
but I might be tempted to. I don't know, like if Keanu Reeves or somebody was showing up at a con, the line would be so obnoxious, I would lose interest. I would just
right
at the San Antonio con. I think the actor that played Hellboy. Who else did he play, man? Who else did he play? This guy.
Is it Hopper from Stranger Things, or is it Ron Perlman?
Dude, Ron Perlman. Dude, Hopper from Stranger Things. I didn't realize that he was Hellboy until after I saw him in the MCU.
Yeah.
And then I had to go back and look up images of Hellboy, and that is hilarious.
Pretty wild.
That's hilarious, dude. That's weird. It was weird.
Yeah.
Definitely a Ron Perlman fan as Hellboy.
Right.
Ron Perlman's Hellboy. I had to pick the two.
My bad. David Harbour. My bad. David Harbour. I hate reducing people to a single role. So David Harbour. Hopper, Stranger Things, Hellboy. And also, the Red Guardian, the MCU.
Love him as Red Guardian. Love Red Guardian.
He's great.
I can't get enough of that. I can't get enough of Guardian. I would go watch Black Widow 2 if you're gonna give me some more. Red Guardian.
Oh man.
Where are we gonna see him again?
I don't know. They did the Thunderbolts, right? And so I don't know. I'm assuming maybe the Thunderbolts make an appearance in Doomsday. Maybe.
Yeah,
think so.
Bring him out. Put him in Doomsday.
Yeah.
I can't think of anyone else that I would like to see in from Thunderbolts in Doomsday except for Red Guardian.
Yeah.
Who's that other guy? Is he Legion?
I think so.
The guy that had no powers, that got sucked up in the tube, and it's Sentry.
Yeah, Sentry.
Sentry in the Void. That's who he ended up being.
Well, I haven't seen the movie.
No,
I haven't seen Thunderbolts yet. I guess I should do that. Well, while I have a little extra free time on my hands.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't know. What do you think? Where do you think? Oh, you haven't seen it, so you don't know. You don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting. You got Disney Plus and no Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
No Thunderbolts yet. There's about to be a Thunderbolts 2, and you haven't even seen the first one.
Right. Geez. My watch list just keeps growing. I got to start working on some of that. Do we use this time to segue into X-Men 97? We're an hour and a half in.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I didn't want to stop our momentum. We were having such good energy there.
Yeah.
It was good. I don't want to. But you're right. That's a fantastic segue.
Yeah.
Considering what we made X-Men 97 a priority on our watch list.
We did.
Today. We didn't want too much time to pass for that.
Right. So I watched the first episode of season 2, X-Men 97, 2 days ago. And then hit you up about it on yesterday. Yeah, hit you up on the phone, and then you said, I called you earlier tonight. Had a good day, got home, settled in, and hit you up on the phone. And you said, let's go ahead and cover episode 2 also. So I watched episode 2, and then had threw this tight fit Wolverine Under Armour shirt on that I bought years ago at a TJ Maxx. I probably have it. I think I tried it on when I bought it, and I was like, I'm buying this. Like it was marked down ridiculously cheap. I've got like this, and I think like maybe a couple Transformer ones. Jillian and I were like recently married at the time, and there was a TJ Maxx in like coming into like, it was like Grapevine, South Lake-ish border. Probably more so South Lake, because you cross over that bridge into the South Lake area. So it's like just coming into South Lake from Grapevine. And so we used to hit up the TJ Maxx, and every now and then we'd find really good deals. Like I've got like a Texas Longhorns kind of like peachy colored Columbia shirt that I've worn for years, that I got for like $15 at this TJ Maxx. So I found some steals back in the day. I might have a Batman one of these too, actually. I'll have
tell
to.
You, this one, I don't know what the Batman man looks like, but this one works for you.
Yeah.
The way this one highlights your chest and cuts the arms off, makes you look like.
Yeah, this is great, because this is the only part of me that I want in the picture. So, we don't need to go any lower. I've got, I'm a dad, so we don't want to go any lower than this. That the fake muscles on the tie fish shirt, make me look better than I am.
That's the version of Wolverine that we all deserve.
There we go.
It's not the one we need, but it's the one we deserve.
So, anyway, watched episode 2. Do you want to kick us off on episode 1? Because I took notes for episode 2. I followed your instructions and took some notes on episode 2. So what do you got for me? Episode 1. I
made 0 notes. I made 0.
You took 0 notes. All right, we're doing great. We're off to a great start.
A lot of hip shooting from me. So what happened was I forgot that I had to go to Comic Con today. I put my at 9 o'clock in the morning on Saturdays. I normally go to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So I was putting my jiu-jitsu stuff on at 8:30 because I got to be at jiu-jitsu at 9:30. And then as I was putting my stuff on, walking around getting my stuff out, it hit me that Comic Con is at 9:30.
Whoop.
So the day before, I planned on rewatching the first episode. So I wanted to watch the episode, absorb it, just have fun watching it, and get my initial reaction without having to make notes or think about what other people think about it or nothing. So I wanted to get my initial experience of the season 2. I wanted it to be that. So I was like, I'll watch it again tomorrow because I had forgotten about going to Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And then I watched. When did I watch season 2? I may have watched them back to back.
Yeah,
I may have watched them back to back. Anyway, they're like, I'll make the notes tomorrow, and I did. So I watched them both. I feel like I watched. I woke up this morning and watched episode 2 as well.
Okay, I got you.
Anyways, I'm pretty fresh. I enjoyed it. I'm not a huge X-Men fan anyway, so I don't know a lot about these characters. I am familiar with Jean Grey and Cyclops having a baby. The baby is Cable. He's a time traveler.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I think that's from season 1, right?
Yeah, it is.
Are we not? We're doing spoilers right now, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're discussing the episodes. So yeah, if you hadn't seen the episodes, that's on you.
Yeah, here we go.
We're technically behind on the scheduling a bit because I want to say they rolled out, can't remember if there's 2 or 3 episodes right off the bat, kicking off the show on Disney Plus. But so we're a little bit behind schedule. So if you happen to be watching this, and we're the spoiler alert has already been put out there, so it's on you at this point.
Yeah. Did you notice if how many episodes were out right now while you were looking at the episodes? You're push and play.
I'm trying to see.
Yeah.
I actually had sent you a video or like a picture of the release schedule, and I can't for the life of me track it down right now on my phone.
All right,
I was going to try and pull that up.
There may be if there's only 3 episodes out right now, that's great news because I can watch the 3rd one tomorrow and then we'll be caught up. If there's 4 episodes, I can watch 2 more because it was that good. I had a lot of fun. I was scared to watch it. I
would say they're up to 5 maybe, and I think there's only maybe 8. Let's see.
Well, maybe we can catch up by the season finale then.
Yeah, we should be able to.
Yeah, gotta be able to. I had a lot of fun watching it. I think the first one, I was scared to turn it on and watch it because it's always painful to see something you know and love fail or not be as good as you imagine it, So sometimes it's better not to meet your heroes in person type of situation,
Right.
We had a lot of fun.
So they rolled out 3 episodes on July 1st. Today's the 19th, so they rolled out 3 episodes right off the bat. So Days of Past Future, which is the first episode. Episode 2, A Force to Be Reckoned With, and then episode 3, Rise of Apocalypse Part 1. Episode 4, Rise of Apocalypse Part 2, that came out on July 8th. And then episode 5, so I guessed right. Episode 5 is entitled Weapon X Lies and DVDs, which came out 4 days ago. So the next episode is called Danger.exe or execute for anybody that works with technology. So yeah, we got 3 days till episode 6 comes out. But what are your thoughts on Days of Past Future, episode 1?
All right. So my initial thought, I did go to Dave's Hot Chicken. As soon as you told me, I packed up my.
Go check out the short. Anybody that shows up here, go check out the short that Mysterious Stranger put out for Dave's Hot Chicken's promotional crossover with X-Men 97.
Yeah, and Dave's Hot Chicken is good. It's good. I don't know if we got them. We got them they're in Arlington. I don't have one here in Waxahachie, but Dave's Hot Chicken is good. They got hot crinkle fries. They got spicy chicken. Who doesn't like that? Who doesn't like it? And they go hot. So they're hot. There's 2 other above the hot, and it's the hot is hot. The hot's probably too hot.
Yeah.
when you see salsa that says hot on the can, it's normally not hot. Dave's Hot Chicken is not playing around. It's hot. So if you don't like spicy chicken, get something that doesn't say anything about being spicy on it because it's spicy.
All right, that's a good warning. Give a quick rundown because the way you described it to me via text was really funny. Because I told this to you, and it might have been the day that it dropped. Because I was scrolling my Facebook reels and came across a reel that showed like, oh, this dude like got these figures for X-Men 97 from Dave's Hot Chicken, and I immediately sent it over to you because I knew it was like coming out, like the show was debuting around that time. So I sent it to you, and then you took off and went straight there. It made me laugh the way you described you showed up to Dave's Hot Chicken.
Yeah, I think there's something about me. I like the coffee. I like hot chicken. Hot chicken is not necessarily Dave's Hot Chicken, but I'm eating hot wings 2 or 3 times a week. And it was. I don't remember exactly what day it was. Oh, it must have been Tuesday or Thursday. It was one of those 2. I was at work in Arlington at my desk. It was, and this man that you referenced must have gotten a preview of the boxes because it wasn't out yet.
Yeah.
When you told me about it, it wasn't out. It was their launching day, and they come up with these big box meals from the video you sent me.
Yeah.
And by the time the video was over, I was already walking out of the building to drive to Dave's Hot Chicken. Dave's Hot Chicken wasn't even open yet. I got up and left the building, put in my Google Maps where Dave's Hot Chicken was, and I was walking up to the building as they were opening. The video you sent me was still playing.
There's a picture you sent me of you in Dave's Hot Chicken.
I believe I sent you a screenshot of Google Maps also on the way there.
Oh man. Yeah, oh you did. And I laughed really hard at this. Since so your ETA was 11:03 a.m., but I'm pretty sure Dave's probably opened at 11, so you were there.
The message probably didn't even show as read that you had sent me it. I left ASAP.
I sent you the Facebook reel at 10:40 in the morning on Thursday, July 2nd.
Yeah, and they opened at 11. So I got your message. It was there in less than 20 minutes.
Oh my gosh. That's so fun.
So where did I got my figures? I got my figures over here next to my Blackbird.
Dave's Hot Chicken picture from your dashboard. Man.
I'm playing around. That was super exciting. And like I said, I'm not even a big X-Men fan. I ran out of the building because
Yeah,
it's hot chicken.
that's great.
Here's the figures I pulled. Here's the figures we pulled. I got Jean Grey
I
and
love birds.
Cyclops pair. I ordered 2 boxes. The boxes are like $14 each. They come in this cool wrapper, X-Men 97 Happy Meal style box.
Yeah.
And they're smart enough. They didn't put the food in the box. I was worried about. I was going to ask for the box on the side, or like, give me my food and just give me the unfolded boxes on the side.
Right.
But they put a plastic container inside the box so your spicy chicken doesn't ruin the box. So that was cool. And
That's cool.
I was looking at the video you sent me, it had Wolverine on it, and I was like, who is this Wolverine? Who is this do-rag Wolverine? Because in the comic, this is not something, do-rag Wolverine is not something I remember from time-traveling Wolverine. This seems unique to X-Men 97, and I might be wrong, but I doubt it.
I'm zooming in here, but there are the toys featured in the Facebook reel that I sent to you. So you got,
There he is
Scott,
in the middle of the play
Cyclops, and then Durag, Durag Wolverine, and then Storm and Jean Grey, and there's where is it right here? Not a great clear look, but there's a general idea of Durag Wolverine, as he's been referred to.
Yeah, so that happened, and that was super
He's
exciting.
almost Batman looking right here.
Yeah, the way the light is hitting his hair popping out the side almost looks like the pointy ears.
Yeah.
But yeah, very Batman-esque and Daredevil-esque.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's an explanation for it in the show either. He just shows up like that and destroys some robots, and then you immediately believe in do-rag Wolverine without questions asked. I'm a fan. I did see anyway. I don't know. That was great. So that was a lot of fun. I appreciate the insight to the.
I laughed because as we're texting, I said send a picture once you've got it all set up. Nice. He said yeah, and then you texted me. I think they think I work for Dave, like corporate. But you said Dave, and I said Dave Ramsey. Oh man!
Give me my chicken, donkeys. Chicken is raw.
And I said mystery corporate shopper. Then you had put together your reel, which was great. I thought that was really well done. But yeah, I got a big time kick out of. I think you said I think they think I work for Dave's corporate. Pretty funny.
There was some young kids in there, and it was their first time packaging up this meal. There was other people, like Dave's Hot Chicken in Arlington is popular. There was other people there already waiting for them to open so that they can get their lunch chicken. Other normal adults who aren't into cartoon Happy Meal toys. Yeah. Which I don't know if that's entirely normal because X-Men 97 is sentimental to a lot of people in my age. So I was the only one there to order the X-Men 97 meals. Everybody was just ordering regular chicken. So these guys had to package up this meal they were like talking to each other about like how to put this together. And I started getting nervous. I was like, they're going to mess this up for me. Yeah. Like, please, I want to get the toys. Like, do I get to pick the toy? Like sometimes you go to McDonald's, you get to pick the toy, right? I was like, I'm going to get duplicate toys because they don't know what they're doing. But the toy bags had serial numbers on them. They hooked me up. I got 2 different toys. The chicken was delicious. I ate one right then, and I took the second box of chicken. I opened both toys right away. Those are both mine. But I took the boxes off, so I have both the boxes in my comic book collection for the future references. Still smell like chicken. And then I took the second chicken meal home and gave it to Jessica and Bryce. Nice. And they appreciated that. And they put a lot of ranch. You got to put a lot of ranch on it unless you like that high-end spice.
Right.
Yeah. So with that whole experience, you see that these characters have this weird armor and stuff on their costumes. You get the
Yeah,
do-rag Wolverine. Who's the fourth character in the toys? Did you
it's Storm.
Storm? Love Storm.
Yeah,
I would have been happy with a
yeah.
Cyclops Storm. I don't know if this is a hot topic, hot opinions for me. I think Cyclops and Storm should have been, and they probably may have been. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think they instead of Jean Grey, I would have loved to seen Cyclops and Storm run and stuff. Cyclops has been the leader of X-Men, and so has Storm been the sole leader of X-Men at a certain point. And I love Mohawk Storm with the leather.
Yeah, I know you're a big fan for Fortnite.
Yeah,
Mohawk Storm.
Favorite version of Storm, and would like to see her in Cyclops.
Yeah,
she's going to keep the Mohawk. So I would have been happy with Storm. I didn't really want do-rag Wolverine. I'm happy with the ones I got because we got Cable's parents out of the box together, and I got them. I keep them next to my Black. What is it, the Black Hawk? Cool. So when you see do-rag Wolverine, you get a little nervous to watch that first episode.
Yeah. So
did
real quick,
did you watch the recap before the episode?
Yeah. Watch the recap. So if you remember, we've got kind of a doomsday-esque situation in that Magneto has crashed out, and we're we're about to really mess things up, and then all of a sudden, two different teams of X-Men are pulled out of time. Some sent to, many years ago, and some sent to very far into a apocalypse rolled future. And so they're split up. Jubilee and Sunspot are still in 1997, but it's both of these teams have been pulled in separate directions. And there, as we learned in this episode, there's a character named Mother Ascani, who, basically pulled them in these two separate directions, and there's a reason behind it. In that, her, she is wanting to cover some high points, some very significant moments in Apocalypse's arc, to avoid the very, very awful future that she has experienced. Obviously, she's been through some stuff. With this character, one of the things I noticed, which I'm sure wasn't by mistake, but there's like a Phoenix Force looking symbol that, I don't know if you picked. I mean, I imagine you probably picked up on that in her eyes.
Well, you told me about it before I watched the episode, so I was hyper aware looking for it, and I thought it was going to be more. I thought I would see it more often.
Yeah,
but I did see it once. I think I remember seeing it once, and it was They made sure you see it. They zoom in on her eyes.
Right.
It's definitely the Falcon, the Phoenix symbol.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought
so she pulls them in.
Do what?
She pulls them there on purpose.
Yeah. And it's very interesting. Obviously, very emotional in the first season with wild situation with Cyclops, thinking he's having a baby with Jean Grey. In reality, it's Madeline Pryor. There's a bit of a rug pull there, but just heart wrenching to have to send. Their baby has this virus, and heart wrenching to have to send him into the future in hopes that he can survive. And sure enough,
the techno-organic virus that the baby gets. So they send him into the future to save his life and hoping that there's a cure in the future for his virus. I got confused watching this episode because of what you just said. He has the baby with Madeline Pryor.
Yes.
And then him and Jean Grey go into the future.
Is it him and Jean Grey, or him and Madeline Pryor?
So that's not Jean Grey.
You know,
Do you remember him saying Jean? He calls her Jean.
Well, that's
I
kind of
definitely don't remember him saying Madeline.
yeah. I think you're right. Actually, now that I think about it,
They talked about it during the first episode, and she kind of like understands the situation and agrees.
yeah, and it's very interesting because while Madeline is a clone of Jean Grey also has the experiences and emotions from what Madeline experienced. And so it's really, really crazy, jacked up situation set in play by Mr. Sinister there. But anyway, I mean, yeah, actually, I think you're right in that it is Jean, but it's really weird because the childbirth and all that was experienced by Madeline, but there's the whole shared memory situation.
Yeah, I love this sort of awkward childbirth. If anyone's been cornered by someone, like when you were next to your mom and she's talking to her friends and she wants to share your childbirth story with somebody else,
I'm out.
Yeah, you don't have memories of this and intentionally, and then your mom cannot wait to share those memories with you. If you can, but I think women. I'm not a woman. I don't know what it's like. But whenever this is brought up in a group of women, they start clicking.
Yeah,
they know what this feels like, and it's a shared experience with them anyway, right? So.
Right.
This baby is not Jean Grey's baby. This baby is Madeline Pryor's baby.
Yeah.
And Jean has the memories of giving birth to this baby that is not hers.
Right.
So what's messed up is, do they do that in the first episode? In the first episode, they start talking about whether or not they're going to tell him if they're his parents.
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah.
She's not his parent.
Yeah.
So wait till he hears that story.
Right.
Also.
Yeah. It's like as if he didn't already have enough trauma. Oh, by the way.
I said I was your mom.
Your mom's your mom, but not really your mom because there's a clone. And, yeah. It's like, oh gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, we all have very special bonds with our mother. Like who our father is sometimes is not as important as who your mom is.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a bond there. She's definitely has an emotional feel. She's a telepath.
Yeah.
Also, she's very empathetic to what's happening, and I'm sure they're making the right decision because now we all know Cable grows up to be a well-adjusted man.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely carrying some trauma and the weight of basically being the chosen one, essentially. Like, oh yeah, it's not already bad enough that you have this virus. You've also have to take down this this threat to the entire universe, and multiple universes at that. You got to take this guy down, throughout time, essentially. And try to squash it so everything doesn't end up going to crap.
I was looking into the it's Jean Grey. I was looking into the credits to see who she actually is. So she definitely is Jean Grey.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So that's fun. That was fun hearing. I didn't imagine that part of this conversation was going to be so fun to talk about. There's definitely a lot to unpack,
right?
With that birth and who Cable's real parents are,
right?
There, but they don't. I don't know. But did we get an explanation of why everybody's wearing battle armor and different costumes? I understand it's like this Terminator 2
Yeah.
dystopian future here.
I kind of thought about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of came to mind. Bishop and Forge, having to go separate directions. Obviously Forge, going to the future so he can see Storm. And then them being reunited. It's pretty cool. It is pretty funny that they're having the discussion between each other and like, as if it wasn't a big enough deal to have to create time travel. They're just talking about it like, it's fairly casual. NBD, just create a time traveling machine.
No problem. I got you.
But
I got you. You're like, do you like following? Who's your favorite future X-Men? You like Bishop or Forge? Forge is the IT guy, and Bishop's the action, the gun wielding action guy.
There was an episode. I really wasn't super familiar with Forge as much. But there was an episode from season 1 that kind of, showed like, him and the whole situation with him and ended up bonding with Storm and all that. I was like, he's pretty cool. Gained an appreciation for his character. It is really funny because especially
his demeanor. He's got a good demeanor to his character too.
Yeah.
He's a little back.
Right.
You see maybe you can get with him.
It's pretty funny because a fair amount of these characters, I admittedly am not a comic buff, definitely not on the level as Mysterious Stranger here. And so the majority of my interactions with these characters have come through, the Fox movies, a little bit of the original X-Men 97 show, a little bit, but I watched a lot more of the Spider-Man animated series from the 90s than I did X-Men 97. And I watched some of I think it's like X-Men Evolutions or something where they're like kids, like teenage, like high school age kids. Like, I can't remember if that was the name of the show or not, but and then the other, so it's really like MCU, Fox, animated television, and
what about the games?
Video games is really my main point of reference for a lot of these characters. And so it was really cool to get to know his character better.
Yeah, he's cool. He's the guy that's got everything. Everything's counting on him. Bishop gets more of the X-Men, like Wolverine, when Wolverine, like Days of Future Past, when they send Wolverine into the future or into the past to fix everything. That's more like Bishop's character in the comics. They kind of didn't use Bishop that way. I think Bishop was in the X-Men movies, but they didn't utilize him for that.
Yeah, no.
It was a different setup anyway, but that's kind of what Bishop does. But in the books, in Chris Claremont's run of X-Men, Forge and Storm have a relationship, and it's Mohawk Storm. And the artwork and stuff from that is really cool. And there's a scene in the books, I think it's on the cover of the book also, of that story. It's like a 2-part story from Chris Claremont where it focuses on a Storm and her responsibilities as a goddess, and Forge isn't so important to the universe as Storm is.
Right.
And they're talking about like how they can't just stop doing what they're doing and be together, and they both have responsibilities to do, and so they decide to go their separate ways. But there's a moment in the books that's on the cover as well where they're both standing out looking into the desert and the stars like they do. I don't remember if it's episode 1 or episode 2 at this point, but there's a scene in the X-Men 97 where they recapture that moment where they're both contemplating life and their responsibilities and the relationship, and they're kind of looking out next to each other. But of course, Storm is wearing her cool post-apocalyptic armor. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's cool. What else happens in episode 1? Episode 1, we get Wolverine. Wolverine jumps out and protects someone who's getting attacked. Is it Cable? Is it little kid Cable, or is this somebody else?
Oh, it's Forge, because he just shows up and he does a pretty good job, defending himself, and but then he's kind of in a bad spot with a couple of the Terminator-esque robots, staring him down, and then Wolverine jumps in and everybody else jumps into the fray, and it's really cool. You get some really awesome scenes here.
That's our first look at the homie Wolverine.
Yeah.
He comes out, Forge is blasting him with guns. That dude, the Forge scene when he's getting attacked by the robots and they're blasting through the walls that he's hiding behind and he's shooting them back and the lasers are melting through their faces. The animation looks so good. I think that there's a lot to get excited about as far as the drama and the story, but this is like the first punch in the face that you get from the action animation in this episode, and it doesn't disappoint. So Forge is getting attacked with the robots, and there's a lot of cool animation, and it's again that 90s choppy style. You don't get this smooth animation, and it takes a little bit to get it used to. I thought my Wi-Fi may have been going out or something. I don't know if you saw the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's like it's not very many frames in the action. It's like almost stop motion, like you would have experienced it back in the 90s.
Right.
He's hiding behind this wall, and these bullets, this hot lasers come and melt the brick. And it's you see how hot these lasers are, and the wall just evaporates. Wow. And he shoots them back, and the gun he has is also as strong as the weapons that they have. Which is pretty neat, which is pretty good. So
it is
and
cool.
Then Wolverine comes out just juking the lasers and starts ripping people's heads off in his fashion.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. And it's it's cool to see them all working together and everything as a team. You get some really neat shots. Nope. But yeah, it's great. And get everybody reunited, get Forge and Storm back together. Seeing the interactions with Gene and Scott and Nathan, just kind of, them.
We're gonna see baby Nathan grown up.
Yeah, he's kind of, I guess, maybe teenage-ish, maybe young teenage-ish. I'm guesstimating his age. He's basically kind of been raised by the mother Ascani figure, seemingly, and she's very tapped into the idea of destiny, and trying to help make sure that he, in an effort to avoid the awful future that she has endured, obviously. Making sure that she keeps Nathan on track to developing to, getting to the point that he needs to reach to become who he needs to be.
Yeah, and he's definitely got some daddy issues. When they see him, his confidence is low. He's not sure he wants to take the mantle. There's a lot of what ifs and stuff in the air in this episode. They kind of set it up that way.
Yeah. And that they've almost kind of, with Scott and Gene kind of kicking around whether or not to divulge their identities, and also too they have the tug of, being in the situation of being with their son who they had to give up, and being exposed to the reality of this, we don't get to be with him forever. And pushing back against that actually, and ends up getting the team into a little bit of a jam, and they get roughed up by the Horsemen. I didn't look up the
Is that
I didn't
episode
look up.
one?
Yeah. They get roughed up by the Horsemen of Apocalypse. Apocalypse, ends up getting wind of Cable essentially, and he sends his six horsemen on him. You got this crazy guy with like beating a drum.
Yeah, get the Civil War.
Yeah.
He's Death. We get Pestilence, Death. I know these characters most from an X-Force run where Deadpool and Wolverine and Phantom X are on an X-Force, and this storyline has a twist of, that old classic, what if you had a chance to go back in time, would you kill baby would you kill baby Hitler? This story has the same line where they go back in time and Apocalypse is a baby and they struggle on whether or not they should kill him or not, which is kind of a theme here as well. And they decide not to, and they decide to raise him. So they just keep them with him, and he's a little kid, and they raise him to do that. But they have these versions of the Four Horsemen in there, and the Geisha version of Pestilence, or is this these Pestilence? Well, there's Famine, Pestilence.
Just trying to get it pulled up here.
Yeah.
They're referred to as the final horsemen. So Pestilence, War, Famine, and Death.
War?
Yeah, you've got...
He's definitely War, huh?
Yeah, so you got Pestilence, which has like insects. War, which Roman gladiator makes him look like a minotaur, gives him superhuman strength and toughness. Famine is a Confederate spy who plays his drums to power a sonic attack that strips flesh from anyone who can hear it, which was pretty wild to see. Like the flesh getting ripped off of like Cyclops and Jean. And then Death, the Persian prince who spreads disease with a touch. So it was kind of Death seemed to be like kind of the what's the word? Almost kind of Oracle-esque figure. They kind of relaying information to Apocalypse, kind of serving as a mouthpiece to an extent. But yeah, they kind of get their tails kicked a little bit by these guys initially.
Did you make a note to try to remember Apocalypse's name?
I did
Apocalypse is his given name, but he has an actual name. I think in the beginning of the second episode, they make a point to.
I wrote down War's name, but not Apocalypse's name. War's name was Abraham Kuros, because I saw that in the little folder that Cable tossed out on the table to Jubilee. I took good notes on episode 2.
It said in Sabanur. In Sabanur, when they encounter him as a young man later. Yeah. So yeah, we get to see the first of the Four Horsemen. That was cool.
Apparently that translates to the first mutant.
Oh, really?
In Sabanur.
I like Apocalypse. I like that for him, that he's retro fit with as the first mutant. That he's timeless. He's timeless and he's inevitable.
Yeah.
That's a great line from Thanos also.
Mm-hmm.
What a great thing to be, inevitable.
Yeah. But yeah, they kind of get whooped a little bit. Scott well, Scott and Gene and Nathan get scooped up and taken to Apocalypse via this, some sort of train type thing. And that's, it's during this scene where they kind of get to bond. And I have a good note for episode 2 related to something I observed in this scene here, but, that it's there that they ultimately divulge who they are. They're able to give the same messages that they gave to Nathan when they had to send him away as a baby. They're able to recite those messages to him, and he makes the connection to realize who they are. A little bit of coaching from Scott in this scene of it trying to break the collar that was put on them and restricting them. Not sure if he has the if he's strong enough to break the collar, and sure enough he fights through the pain.
That was episode 2.
No, it's episode 1 still.
That was the collar breaking.
Yep.
Was episode 1.
Yep.
That was good. I'd like to see him step up. We all see Cyclops as a leader, and it's cool to see him step up as a dad and try to get that baseball coach vibe where your dad's trying to coach you to teach you how to hit your first ball and open you up and use your skills, because that's something that X-Men is known for, is running the school and teaching people how to use their powers. So that's definitely something he's got some experience in. Yeah. He goes right into it like a natural here. And it was cool to see him step up and show like some dad muscles.
Yeah. Meanwhile, all that's going on. The rest of the group is trying to figure out, we have to stop this. We can't let Apocalypse get Nathan's. How are we going to stop them? They end up, powering this old, junker ship, and having the discussion with Storm of, you may not realize it, but you're able to harness cosmic power, and that's what we're going to need to fuel our vehicle in order to catch up with these guys before they make it back to this barrier that we can't pass through. So it's Storm, realizing that I need to tap into this power. It's pretty awesome looking. Feeding all this energy into this vehicle to give them the juice to go.
Solar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty awesome. Not just weather, cosmic energy.
Forge coaches her up to be like, hey, there is climate. The sun has a climate. You can rock the sun. You can rock the sun, Storm. She's like, oh, you're right. Let me just do that. Let me just do it before you. So they drive around a spaceship powered by the cosmic storms of the sun.
Right. Yeah, it is. I did think that the comment was kind of funny and interesting timing of Forge and having the conversation with Storm. Like, how are we going to do this? Like, I'm a man of science, and you're a goddess, essentially. How are we going to make this work? How are we going to navigate this relationship? It's kind of funny that they just kind of briefly touch on that a little bit.
It's true. That's true. Hey, I want to see Forge win. Forge needs a W. He's from a dystopian future. There's just not a lot going on up there.
I love it. Morph's character is really weird, but I love it when Morph turns into random characters. Like Morph turned into Thor in this episode.
Was that this episode?
Yeah, I was like, what? That always throws me. I'm like, oh yeah, it's Morph.
That's a cool trick. That's a cool trick. It's funny that he doesn't just do characters that are like in the battle and stuff. They throw Thor in there, and it's only for like a split second.
Yeah,
but you're right. I was like, what is Thor doing here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. So that was really cool. but inevitably they catch up to the vehicle. Scott coaches Nathan through breaking the collar and freeing his parents, and then that triggers the security team, and they handle those guys, and then the rest of the gang shows up and are able to derail the train before it passes through this gate that apparently would have been impenetrable otherwise. So they cross through that. They handle the business with the horsemen. The one of the horsemen gets away and snitches to Apocalypse. And Apocalypse says, "All right, well, in order for me to beat them, I'm going to have to go back to 1997." And so Apocalypse bails. And then they essentially go up to this. I wasn't really sure how to describe necessarily what's happening per se. With Nathan like sticking his arm in this thing that gives him his fancy, really cool arm. He has like robot arm, and then he gets the really cool arm that is iconic to him.
Yeah. What were they waiting for? I'm glad we got to see the thing happen.
Yeah.
Well, why did they wait so long to fix his arm?
Yeah.
Why is this just now happening? He's like, okay, now he's ready for the arm.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure, really. And also, too, it's got like built-in Siri, apparently, because Scott and Gene are obviously like, "Oh, we need to spend more time with you," and which actually this is technically throwing you back to the end of episode 2, or we're flashing forward to the end of episode 2, but yeah, he like gets some sort of built-in Siri type thing that is like, "Oh no, you have to send them home to 1997." So little flash forward there to the end of episode 2, but yeah, really, really neat episode. Some really cool moments. Anything else you wanted to highlight from episode 1?
I thought, what else? There's you see some separation that a little bit from Mother Ascani. There's a little tension there between Scott, Gene, and Mother Ascani, and Cable and Nathan there. So you immediately get some forwarding, foreshadowing.
Yeah.
That this is definitely going to be an issue. No, I think that's good. I think that covers it pretty good. I did think it was funny. You briefly talked about when the decision, we're like, oh, we have to go back to the 90s. There's a comical moment. There was a weird feeling with me when they brought that up. He was like, almost looked directly at the camera, and it was like, we're going back to the 90s. Like, yeah, we know that's in the title of the show. I felt like it was a little awkward. It was a little awkward for me.
Yeah, it was. It just, I don't know. It felt really funny coming from Apocalypse. Like,
we got to go back to the 90s. And seeing Apocalypse all sewn up inside that machine, also, you don't get a full view of what Apocalypse really looks like. He's seen encased in some sort of mechanical contraption at that point. So it wasn't real clear to me like what was even going on with the machine. Why is he in the machine?
Right.
But you could tell by the design of the face of the machine that it's him because of the lining mouth and stuff. And you recognize the voice. So that was something else that stuck out to me also. I don't really maybe they explained that last season or sometime, but why is he in some sort of is he having a spa day in there? He's getting rejuvenated. Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
I don't know.
On episode 2?
On episode 2. So
it's called A Force to Be Reckoned With.
Yeah. immediately did you watch the recap, or did you just go straight into the episode?
I watched the recap and then what the episode.
Yeah. You watch the recap, and then the title sequence comes on, and I was watching. I didn't skip past the title sequence or the theme song. And if you get a chance,
the title sequence all the way through this show is great, and you can't really pass it because they introduce characters into the title sequence. And this one, I'm glad you noted this because this one's a banger. It's super cool in that the episode kind of starts off and it doesn't do the title sequence immediately. It highlights these mutant kids running up to the X Mansion. The X Mansion's torn to bits. And then there's this they mention this X Factor group, which is basically a group of mutants working for the government that are detaining and relocating mutant kids. We flash forward to Jubilee and Sunspot at an arcade, joined by Cable, which is also really funny because he's like
X Factor.
It's X Factor. Mm-hmm. And so they they're for whatever reason, it struck me as really funny that Cable's like sucking down a milkshake. It's like you hear him like slurping the straw.
He's got this raspy voice.
Yeah,
this raspy voice, and he's a serious character. Oh, another thing that we didn't mention from the first season is as Cable starts gaining his confidence and using his powers, his eye starts glowing. And they make sure that multiple times during the episode that you see the shiny eye, and he uses it here in this scene also.
Yeah,
it's kind of risen people up with the psychic eye. Like,
It definitely enhances his aura. His aura farming with his eye.
They utilize it many times. I felt like it was unnecessary at some time. Like that wasn't. It's working on me though.
Yeah. Yeah, so Cable's obviously looking for Apocalypse, the horseman called War. Abraham Kiros is the name that was in the folder that he throws on the table. He summarizes Apocalypse's goal as Apocalypse wants to dominate the evolutionary chain, essentially set himself at the top. Cable just, tells, she's straight up with Jubilee and Sunspot and tells them, I want soldiers, not students, not heroes. Essentially, you're going to fall in line and follow my orders. And it's great. It's a great setup. And we already talked about it a little bit, but it's a great setup in that, Jubilee sets it up with, does this team have a name? And he just kind of smiles, and then it goes straight into the title sequence with X-Force instead of X-Men 97, which is so cool. And again, throughout this entire show, I love, back to season 1, they did the same thing where, like, if a character was highly involved or highlighted, they'd throw them in the title sequence. If somebody's pulled out of the story, they would pull them out of the title sequence. And so, like, you really, like, usually the title sequence for most shows, you just, all right, skip intro, like, get on with the show. But if you do that with this show, you're gonna miss something. So I love that the title sequence matters in this show, and the song's obviously a banger as well. But I wrote down. Oh, go ahead.
Something that jumped out to me about this title sequence. First off, whenever it says X-Force instead of X-Men, immediately I get goosebumps. We start getting those feels, and we're like, this is something different. This is something different. It's the same X-Men theme song. Yeah, it's like it set you up. You were ready to hear the X-Men or see the X-Men scroll across the screen, but it says X-Force, and you're like, all right, you got my.
Right.
And then also I saw that we lose the X Factor Wolverine costume, and you see a picture of Wolverine in the brown suit in the title sequence.
Oh, do you? I missed that.
I was already apprehensive about the do-rag
Yeah.
Wolverine showing up in here. And then when he showed up and did his action scene, I was like, all right, well, it's still Wolverine. We still get Wolverine. And then, but in the title sequence of the X-Force title sequence, what do we get? We get the brown suit Wolverine. We get a snapshot of X Factor as a team. We get the X-Force team. Is there anything else you made note about the Flash's sequence?
It's Apocalypse and like his horsemen coming from, in the first season, X-Men and then the Brotherhood coming from the other side, running toward the middle, Magneto, Professor X, the whole bit. And so obviously this time got the Cable on one side and you got Apocalypse on the other. And so both sides are approaching with their, with their groups. But yeah, Cable, Jubilee, Sunspot, Psylocke, and Archangel, and the X-Force 97 was really, really cool.
And they mentioned that Archangel was on the others.
They do. Yeah. He calls him a heretic. War does after they capture him. So, have the parade. They find War in the crowd. They kind of lose him.
He's on the other side from his old team running at him in the title sequence. This was fun.
Yeah. Cable basically says, this guy's got a lot of blood on his hands. I would, for whatever reason, this really cracked me up. But they beat War up. They apprehend him. They catch him. He's trying to get away. There's a cool slingshot thing that Sunspot and Jubilee do. And then, Psylocke helps take War out.
Mm-hmm.
But I was really amused by the fact that they tied War up to like a coconut tree. I was like, what are we doing? It just seemed incredibly random to tie him up to a tree.
They got him beat. And it's like rope. They have him tied to the tree with some rope. We're talking about some mutant superpowered abilities. This guy's one of the four horsemen. He's apocalyptic in nature. He come raining down from the sky to bring the end of the universe, and they got him tied up to a coconut tree.
So I got a kick out of that.
The fighting scene that leads up to this scene is good as the first appearance of the homie Wolverine in the first episode.
Yeah,
right. The team up between Jubilee and Sunspot is, and the way they utilize her powers here is a step up from how we've seen her in 1997. The current level of animation here really shows off her powers and abilities. And
it's awesome looking. And she gets the rub big time in this episode, in that they highlight her a lot.
You brought that up, man. When they started doing that a lot, I started getting nervous as an old man. I was like, I don't know if I'm here for all this little kid stuff. And I had to stop myself and think about it objectively. I'm like, can I just be here for this? Can I have fun watching them kick ass as Jubilee, as a little girl? And in the moment that you're about to talk about made me worry about it even more.
Yeah.
But through watching the episode, I was able to get on board with this. The way they do the animation and the way this story is set up it sucks you in.
Right. So Psylocke invades War's mind, but it's booby trapped. There's like some sort of psychic wall with diamonds, which obviously points them towards Emma Frost. It's kind of funny because Cable tells the rest of the team to put him out of his misery, talking about War, and then Cable just shoots him, and Jubilee has a tough time with this because that's not how she is operated.
You went right into that, didn't you?
Yeah.
You slid into that too carefully. This is the big moment, and there's a moment where everyone's holding their breath to see if this happens. So it comes up, and you feel like it's an option.
Yeah.
And then people are like, "Oh, I'm not sure," and then Cable just does the job, which which immediately causes division and problems on the team.
Yeah, Sunspot and Jubilee are not used to operating like this. It's pretty funny because Jubilee says we could have called the authorities, and Cable says we are the authorities.
Oh, that's the superhero team we want.
Yeah,
that's the superhero team. But I think that's what sets X-Men apart from the rest. Well, not everyone. Avengers operate like that. There's lots of versions of superheroes that don't cause fatalities and stuff.
Right.
It's just not. This is not how Cable operates.
Yeah.
Cable's got big guns, bro. There's no non-lethality in the size and number of Cable's armory and pouches on his belt. There's death in there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and that's the other thing is like, obviously Cable's been through, he's been through all this stuff. He's been exposed to multiple realities. He's been, sucked through time, and so I mean, he's obviously seen some stuff.
Yeah. We see Cable as an adult in season 1.
Yeah.
So it's not our first view of adult Cable. We do get the first experience of junior high Cable. But it is in this season, since I didn't rewatch the first season coming into this, I did think it was a stark contrast between in the first episode, you get this insecure, unconfident kid with mommy and daddy issues. And then they get him on board and get his confidence up, and he starts his confidence. And then you get to skip all the middle part of him growing up, and you get adult Cable who's slurping milkshakes and blasting people with his weapons. Execution style. Because I think in the cartoons and stuff, Looney Tune cartoons and stuff growing up, when we seen stuff like that growing up through Looney Tunes where like Bugs Bunny gets a blindfold put on him and he's tied to a tree facing the firing squad. This is a situation that they've set up, which is not a little kid's situation. It's not something from cartoons and stuff, but going up into that scene, it's exactly the same. He's tied up to a coconut tree with a piece of rope. He knows he's gonna die. Like he's prepared to die, and they pull the trigger and kill him. So, it was a little. I think that contrast that they created with the writing between junior high Cable and executioner Cable shows you where he stands in the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. In that Cable has personally witnessed, the destruction and the terrible things, the fallout of the end result of war and Apocalypse's actions, and you think about Jubilee's experience, and she hasn't seen. I mean, she's been exposed to a small portion of it. Obviously Genosha, what happened there was terrible, but it's a walk in the park compared to what Cable has seen. And so he has that, additional perspective, and he is more open, obviously, to, put somebody down, being judge, jury, and executioner.
She's young, and she's super young also.
Yeah.
So you got a good point. Like what happened with Genosha is nothing to blow your nose at. And when you compare two massive tragedies like that, it's like, I don't know. I guess we don't need to bring up actual tragedies that we've experienced over time, but comparing the two it's almost impossible. Like they seem the same in concept, but I think the difference is he is a soldier and she's been trained to maneuver through the danger room, and she's been trained in non-lethality use of her powers. But that's not the experience, and so the junior high Cable we see is trained as a soldier to fight these Terminator machines and protect humanity with full force.
Yeah, I mean he's basically been put in kill or be killed situations his whole life, whereas Jubilee's had the the training at the mansion and put in these situations, that and also too the stakes aren't near as high in the majority of the situation that she's been put in up to this point in her life. So
Yeah.
um,
And for Cable, it's already happened. Like the
Right.
worst possible scenario is already happened to them.
Yeah.
So I guess you're right. Like you might be able to compare the complete apocalypse of mankind to a the mass tragedy that happened to Genosha, which they make it felt. They make that.
They do
in the first season, or
Yeah.
where you feel the impact of what was happened. It causes trauma to several of the other characters, especially Magneto.
Right. Yeah. But then we fast forward on. They go visit Emma Frost. They remind her conveniently that the X-Men saved her life in Genosha. And she said it also saved their reputation too, trying to play it off a little bit. But ultimately,
she's real smart.
Oh, she is big time.
She's having a great time in that mansion. Nothing that's happened in the exterior world is affecting her. They're balling. They're having a party in there.
She had dealings with War, and she says, I might have sold some stuff to him, and he just kind of downplays it. She takes them to where the deal went down, sells them out to X Factor, who's made up of Havoc, Polaris, Multiple Man, Wolfsbane, and Strong Guy. And so, they have a skirmish between X-Force and X Factor, and obviously have the butting of the heads of, do what?
Can I get one?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
No, right here on the side of the street.
Oh, right here. What are we doing? What are we doing here?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It was like boom, boom. I just realized they were facing this way.
Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, it's obviously the butting of the heads of X Factors backed by the U.S. government. They're basically government lapdogs, trying to contain the mutant situation. Then
the introduction of this team is kind of gross.
Yeah.
I'm not against the American government. I love America, but they really sell like. I know X-Men has a strong tie into the civil rights movement, and they're the people's team, and pitting them against the U.S. government and using the X Factor to do that really felt. It gave them like a cockiness and an arrogance to their team. They're like, oh, like I like Strongman. I think it's a great design. I love Strongman's character design. He's probably my favorite out of that team with a little baby tough hair in front of his head. And I think after they get over this U.S. government team, they become a more likable team. They're not like that always in the comic books.
Yeah.
But seeing them as in this situation and being pitted against the X-Men as the bad guys, essentially, and also representatives of the U.S. government felt kind of icky to me.
Yeah. Especially, we see the Teenage Mutants rounded up like at the beginning of the episode by this group. And so it's like, feels a little weird. Mutants rounding up mutants on behalf of the non-mutants. But pretty neat action sequence. Polaris kind of. Oh yeah, go ahead.
The teenagers that you brought up. One of the teenagers, there's a young man with a jacket on, and he's wearing a red shirt with it looks like a Phoenix Force logo on the chest.
I was trying to figure out what that was. I noticed him as well.
Yeah, especially after you notice the logos in Mother Akasha's eyes, like that became like hyper aware of anything that looked like that, and I saw it on his shirt. And I'm not familiar with that character.
Yeah,
and I don't know if he's of any significance, but I just thought that was worth pointing. I wanted to bring it up earlier when you started talking about the episode and the teenagers are running up to the gate in desperation. That I saw that logo there also.
Yeah, that's a good call out. I noticed it as well, but I didn't bother taking a note on it. Yeah, everybody, they have this interaction. Polaris ends up, rounding everybody up, and then they're able to shake them. Everybody gets out except for Jubilee and makes it back to their aircraft. And obviously Sunspot is not super glad about the situation, but he's very quickly reminded by Cable. And then it's funny too because Psylocke basically knocks him out, like with the telepathic power to get him to chill out, and they escape. What's really funny though is that Jubilee straight up calls them a C-list roster. That comment had me cracking up because dang, you have to put these guys on blast. I played Marvel Snap, and that's why I'm familiar with these characters. But she's 100% right in that, had I not played Marvel Snap, I would not have known most of these characters' names. So it's very funny. There's there's unwritten rules in professional wrestling, at least at the WWE level, where you're not typically supposed to call your opponent fat or old, or you're allowed to insult them, but in other ways, because nobody wants to be told the show you're watching is lame. You're lame for watching it. Nobody wants to be told that outright. And so there's other means of making fun of degrading a person. And so for her to hit them with the C-list roster, I was like, dang, straight roasted them.
Yeah, you're right about that. And Sunspot is from a team called New Mutants.
Mm.
And X-Men was already a thing when New Mutants came out. So Sunspot is also from a B-level team.
Yeah.
But X-Force was a step away from X-Men in a very parallel way that made them a non-X-Men X team. That's when they started getting carried away with that. But then they came out with X Factor also. And then now it's literally A, B, C right there. And I don't know if you're going to bring this up or not. I thought you were going to say that she called him a bootleg Cyclops. Did you hear that?
I didn't know. That's really funny.
They call Havoc a bootleg Cyclops. During that argument.
That's funny.
Yeah, that one stuck. And that one hurt me more than the C-level thing. It was bootleg
Cyclops. Oh no.
Ouch.
That's funny.
It was funny. It hurt me. Early on, Cyclops has a brother named Banshee. And they're both products of Mr. Sinister. Also, their storylines are tied into Mr. Sinister, and Havoc looks like someone that could be Cyclops' brother, but he does act as the leader of the X Factor team, and he, in a very generic way, because Cyclops just looks like a regular guy. He's not Wolverine,
right?
Colossus or anything. He looks very regular. And he acts super vanilla like Leonardo from Ninja Turtles. Immediately you got Strong Guy's the funny guy. You got Wolfsbane is on the team. She crawls across the ceiling at some point with her powers. So she looks different, but Havoc just looks like a regular guy. And not only are you a regular guy, but you're a bootleg somebody else. They make a point to just trash the X Factor, which I feel bad about. I feel bad about.
Right. I got to get kicked out of that. Now, something I did want to call out that I thought was visually interesting in that, we see Apocalypse and the Horsemen detain, Cyclops, Jean Grey, and Nathan in the first episode with the collars. And then in the second episode, after Jubilee's captured, she's detained, and we see her and all the other mutants have collars on. And so, like, to me, I was like, wow, like that's you know, this. Yeah, well, it's the technology, but also too just like the means of controlling the mutants. It's like, yeah, well, yeah, the basic, but also too like you know, obviously Apocalypse is as bad as it gets. But also too, like, to see the same means of controlling them used on, you know, and it, as far as we know, none of these mutants has done anything other than just exist, and they're rounded up by this team of mutants and you know, clamped with the same collar that's, you know, basically been employed in the post-apocalyptic future by Apocalypse. So I was like, man, that's kind of you know, interesting storytelling.
Interesting storytelling.
Yeah.
Also, the inhibitor collars make an appearance in the Deadpool. Is that Deadpool 2? They use the inhibitor collars in the prison on Cable and Deadpool. Mm-hmm. So Cable has a close relationship to the. Well, Cable shows up to save Deadpool, so he never wears the inhibitor collar, but Deadpool has one on, and everyone else in the prison is wearing one also. And we know Deadpool is a product of the X-Force team. That's where he's originally from.
Yeah.
Before he gets his own solo title, and the jokes all start with him trying to be a part of the X-Men, and the X-Men want him on the team, and they don't want him on the team, and stuff like that. But yeah, if you're in the MCU, you can see some of these examples of the inhibitor collars there. I also think inhibitor collars, like Apocalypse talks about destroying all of humanity, and then whoever survives, he will enslave them. Mm-hmm. And the inhibitor collars look like slave collars.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a form of bondage.
Yeah.
That gives off that imagery of, it's like, it's demeaning to wear a collar. You're like an animal, right?
Right. Yeah. I thought it was interesting in that, like, you know, obviously, you know, for us, Cyclops, Jean Grey, and Nathan are good guys, but an Apocalypse is a bad guy. And then in this situation, you have just like regular mutants having to wear the collars that have been rounded up by this team of mutants for the government. And so, anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting. And then, you know, Polaris ends up freeing Jubilee. You know, and then we get a very Star-Lord-esque scene with, you know, Jubilee jamming out on a Walkman and, or, you know, listening to a Walkman and beating up guards while chewing bubblegum. You know, I do appreciate watching heroes, like, and I feel like this is something especially Daredevil did very well, in that, like, the hero doesn't just beat everybody down and they leave completely unscathed. Like, to watch them actually struggle, I feel like, you know, helps add an element of realism. And it's like, you know, I can't just walk into a room with you know, 5 dudes that are jacked with guns and and body armor and just wipe the floor with them and walk out like nothing happened. Like, I appreciate that she had a tough time and struggled to beat these guys up a little bit. I just feel like it adds an element of realism to fight scenes when you see that.
She does have this confetti power that people made fun of her when she first came out, but her character was designed with this bright, colorful 90s-esque and the youth of the arcade and the mall and stuff like that to attract a new generation of X-Men viewers, and they carry on that tradition here. I noticed that too, like when she was fighting There's some throwing moves, or like she'll grab her legs around someone's head and do a flip and flip them. She's not just like knocking them out or like blasting everyone away with her powers. And whenever she was teaming up with Psylocke in the first fight, Psylocke comes through and just trashes people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's older, she's stronger, she's got ninja powers. She's got the sword. She's a bad mamma jamma. Yeah, she has no problems dealing with these guys. But it's just Jubilee, and she's young and small. She's lightweight. She's not strong.
Right.
She is very agile, and she's got the flashy powers that fly from her hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that too. That's good.
But yeah, it show, ends up taking down the guards, freeing the other mutants, giving Cable heads up about it. They show up, pick up everybody but Jubilee, and then she gets seemingly caught in a jam, and they basically like tell her to come quietly, and she said like, "Nah, I don't think I will." And really cool. I love the light show as she bails. It jumps off the craft. It throws up a really cool light show. Gets away in style, and then obviously Sunspot catches her.
Finale, like the poster behind you.
Right.
It wasn't just a light show from her hands. It was fireworks.
Yeah,
popping off in the sky, which
yeah.
was intense.
And
Dude,
then
you mentioned that. I think the impact of Cable and the team deciding to leave her behind, and you mentioned that they had to sedate Sunspot.
Yeah,
but that moment was almost a showstopper. They made it to where like hey, we can't just leave people behind. Like, X-Men don't leave people behind. Yeah. They're like the Marines. They're the good guys. They don't leave one of their own behind. Their team and protecting mutants and their team, they're like a family. So like, you wouldn't leave your brother or your sister behind. These people are orphans or have been rejected by their own family and society, and they've formed a bond beyond what their mission is. And a lot of the time, protecting each other is more important than getting the job done. So leaving somebody behind is out of the question.
Yeah.
And Cable does that. When Cable kills the guy and then he decides to leave one of the X-Men behind, you automatically stop trusting him as a leader of this team. And especially you don't want him responsible for a member of the X-Men. And Jubilee's a young lady. She's young, she's youthful, and he's like, she can take care of herself. And you're like, she was part of the reason that they saved Sunspot, and she's been buddy with him. He's displaced, and she kind of made him feel at home and not so awkward. She was the one that kind of made Sunspot feel welcome being an X-Men.
Yeah, obviously they're romantically involved as well.
Watching them have that like
element of it too.
Was awkward and painful, and you can tell that Sunspot's still thinking about it.
Yeah.
Also, when Psylocke was doing her powers, you get a cool shot of her psychic ability, the butterfly that comes out, and you get flashes of her sword and the butterflies when she was doing her telekinesis flying off the other person's head.
Yeah,
that was cool. But you're right, Jubilee does end up taking care of herself, and she's not just the smallest, youngest female version of a member of the X-Men, but she's taking names. She's taking names and saving herself and taking care of herself.
Yeah, it was cool. And then their X-Force makes the news as national fugitives. they're all over the news. And we get a flashback, or I guess flash forward to the future with teenage Nathan, and that the whole his arm talking to him, saying he has to send the X-Men back to 1997. But yeah, I'm curious to see more about this talking arm situation.
Yeah, dude. How about the overpowered arm?
Yeah.
Where like all of a sudden he goes from young preteen with the flashy eyeball and knocking off inhibitor collars. Like the collar's on him, and
Yeah.
this plague, this virus-filled arm. He's like moved the virus down your arm and knocked the collar off. You get this Jedi training moment between them, and then all of a sudden he uses the arm to like, boom, you're gone. Like X-Men and a lot of different characters, and the Avengers took 10 years to travel around in time. 10 years real time. And in this present, we get him, he stick his arm in this cool loop. He gets a Jax arm from Mortal Kombat with a Halo Cortana that pops out of it. And they can just send anybody to any time with a verbal command. Yeah, just like that. All right, I guess we're saying goodbye. But I did find the moments of the ghostly parental figures being sent through the portal to a different time. He says, "I love you," and he goes back to at the end of the episode. He goes back to not back to the future.
Piloting the the ship.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That being said, I liked episode 2 way more than episode 1. Episode 1 was good. You get an introduction. You're dipping your toe back in the water. Episode 2 opens up with that amazing title sequence that comes out of nowhere.
Great.
You get a ton of action. There's some very dramatic moments. And then you're getting your team back together. You're getting your X-Men are going back to where they belong. Because as much as the dystopian future is fun, I want to see them in present day. I like present day X-Men doing stuff here. There's not much going on in dystopian future. Everything's destroyed. There's no Disneyland or Six Flags. All the malls are gone. There's nothing much to do there. Anyway. A lot of prisons.
Well, yeah, I mean, it pretty well wraps up first couple episodes of X-Men 97 season 2.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching the rest of them. I was apprehensive to get into it, and now I'm psyched. I'm psyched to see some more.
I'm looking forward to it too. I know, guess the next couple episodes that we watch will be, very heavily apocalypse focused. And then
that's where it leaves off, right?
Do what?
Where do they come out? And they appear from the portal and they see, was that Wolverine? The part of the team appears. Is that episode 3? Is that the beginning of episode 3?
I haven't started episode 3 yet.
I didn't. Maybe I did start it, but I thought maybe the end of the second episode, or maybe there was a preview at the end. If you keep watching,
maybe I don't know. I might have missed it.
Here in the desert, and Apocalypse, as a younger Apocalypse, is getting attacked by someone, and then they call him by his real name, which is why I remember the Saba name. But I don't think that could have been the beginning of 3 that I accidentally watched, or it could have been.
It would make more sense because these first 2 episodes have focused a bit more on 1997 and the team that went to the future, and I'm assuming that you're probably right in that the next 2 episodes are probably going to be focused on the past with young Apocalypse, if I had to guess. And then I've heard that episode 5 is very Wolverine focused. And then we've got episode 6 coming out on Tuesday, I think. Wednesday. I think it's Tuesday night for us, but Wednesday morning.
Yeah, we don't have anybody watching yet, so I guess we can just take our time catching up to Tuesday. But I could easily watch the next couple of episodes and watch Tuesday. But I
Right.
also would like to digest what's happening instead of watching it all in one day and
Yeah.
having it over and knowing what's going on, watching it a little slower. What we are gonna get, where this is gonna end up is Savage. We're gonna get that Savage Rogue
Rogue.
and Magneto. We're gonna get Savage stuff. So we've gotten the post-apocalyptic Wolverine, and everyone's very familiar with Savage Land, Magneto, and Rogue, and they pop up. They get some smoke, dude. We get a bit of a relationship between
Yeah.
Rogue and Magneto historically from the comic books there.
Yeah.
So there's some people off in the Savage Land also. So how are we gonna get those people back?
Yeah.
Everybody's displaced, and we got part of the X-Men team fighting T-Rexes and doing some cool stuff. It's always fun to. I think artists just love interjecting dinosaurs.
Yeah.
We're all just kids at heart, and
Right.
most of our first loves are dinosaurs, or cars, or soldiers. But dinosaurs is definitely in the top 5 list of things you have to deal with.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Anything else? Episode 1, 2.
No, that's a lot. I do want to say that I think Apocalypse is my favorite X-Men villain. I see Magneto as more of an anti-hero.
Yeah.
They always justify a good reason why Magneto is who he is. But I do understand that he's a villain.
Yeah.
But he's a good one. He's so well written, and at certain points you root for him. But you always see him go too far, and you know it's coming. But Apocalypse is always too far. It's in his name.
Yeah.
In his name.
Right.
So 4 horsemen is biblical. It's always never a good thing when the 4 horsemen show up, and you get Apocalypse and the 4 horsemen, the first mutant, and we get to see how this goes. Excited for the big baddie.
Yeah.
We get this is some mutant level, like Apocalypse is the X-Men version of the Avengers Thanos.
Yeah.
Which is funny because they both say that they're inevitable.
Right.
He said that, didn't he?
I can't remember. Yeah.
I think he said it in the episode.
Yeah. He said something along those lines for sure. I couldn't remember the exact term that he used.
Which is kind of cringy. You would think that the Avengers and Thanos own that term now.
Right.
It must be historically in the comic book and the reference material for them to throw it out there like that. There's no way they would just rip that straight out of.
Right.
That's too much. That's too much to do. Yeah. And we get to see young men. One of my favorite versions of Thanos. We don't get a young Thanos in the Avengers MCU, but we do get retired Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
We get Farmer Thanos in the white tee and the burnt arm.
Yeah.
Which is a great Thanos. I got a Thanos.
Yeah, that's how you got him in a Funko Pop somewhere in there.
Yeah. I do have
Yeah, there it is.
love dressed down Thanos, white tee Thanos. Reminds me a lot of the retired. We get Hulk. We get Sweater Hulk in the MCU. Also.
Yeah.
Get these dressed down versions of our superheroes that look extra comfy. And that's what you get. If you see the thumbnail for the next episode, episode 3, you get Apocalypse. And Apocalypse he's got this long, pretty hair. She hasn't shaved his head or lost his hair yet. So it's pretty funny.
That's cool.
In the comic books, I have Age of Apocalypse Magneto figure.
Oh, sick.
And you get Willie Nelson. You get Willie Nelson Magneto here with the pigtail braids.
That's great. Willie Nelson.
Age of Apocalypse. That I see that these words are backwards now, but
that's awesome.
Savage Land is definitely coming up, and some of these versions of those characters are some of my fan favorites versions. You get Willie Nelson, Magneto. I hope they give them the braids or at least the pigtails, and everyone's going to be super excited when Savage Land Rogue shows up.
Yeah.
So yeah, X-Men 97. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching more, catching up.
Cool. Well, thanks for chat. Thanks for getting on with me and chatting.
Man.
It's been a long time coming. I always we have a lot of these conversations over the phone and through by playing games on Fortnite and Rocket League, Pokemon Pocket. We've gone through Snap phases, and I'll tell you, seeing the X Factor and watching Polaris betray. I don't know. We didn't really talk about that, but Polaris betrays her team and sets Jubilee free, and they kind of shrug it off. They're like, "What happened?" Like, whatever, and they let her walk. Seeing Polaris was I used to love use Polaris in Snap. And that made me want to download the game.
That's funny. I still have it on my phone. I just hadn't played it in a long time.
Yeah, you don't play it in a long time, you get behind, and everybody else has got the cards, and it's hard to get back in, which is a common trope with people in comic books. Like, people don't know how to get back into reading comic books.
Yeah.
People make a lot of how do you get into comic books as a beginner and stuff like that. But it's 100% true for Pokemon or Snap or any card game where if you don't play, you're definitely playing at a disadvantage.
Right.
Until the meta gets reset somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of want to give it a peek. I got a new phone. I don't have Snap on my phone right now, so I would have to download it. But maybe I'll do that.
All right, man. Anything else for call it a night?
Yeah. Let me put our
put the group up. Facebook group.
The banner up. Yeah, before when we started, I showed my Facebook page. This is a group page for our DFW Southeast comic traders. See some of the logos of some of the cities. The goal here is to create a local group of people from these cities and really anybody. The group is open to anyone. The group page is not gate kept. Anyone can join it without permission. There's little to no rules. And anyone can post to this page. So right now, it's basically just me. I reposting the comments, talking about final order cutoffs for books that are coming out in the future. Here's a Peach Momoko example for something killing something's killing the children. Yeah. There's some Ed Brubaker synopsis of some writers in here. This is some local comic book shops. So I drive around, visit comic book shops all the time, look at some of the books that they have out, dig through the dollar bins, meet people while I'm out there. So if you see me out there, say hi, join the Facebook group, start posting stuff about your collection and some of your shop experiences. And I'd love to say hi and meet some of you guys. Will, you can post to the group also. I don't see any posts from you here. This is something new I want to get into that I posted on here. This dude locally just bought a ton of original artworks. So when stuff like this happens locally, this isn't something you normally see from your local comic book shops. And this guy doesn't do new books, but he has tremendous amount of back issues, and he just acquired a ton of original artwork. These are huge comic pages. This is what a comic page looks like before it's shrunk down and put into the books that we recognize. So you can see how big they are. And you can see the whiteout marks. You can see the pencil marks. You can see the thickness of the ink on this page. There's a Batman page up here. Anyway, stuff like this excites me. And this isn't a shop that you would normally find on your own. So if you see stuff like this around in your city, in your community, jump on here, share it. This is the type of content you can expect from us over here. You got anything going on, Will? You got anything? Well,
Just trying to catch up on X-Men 97. And I've like I said, I got a big backlog of shows that I need to watch from the MCU, and I'm really looking forward to Spider-Man Brand New Day coming up here in a couple weeks. So that's what I got going on.
Yeah. We working extra long today. Woke up early, went to Comic Con for hours on end, standing up, walking around. I came home, went to the gym, and then jumped on this stream. It's almost 2 a.m.
Yeah, about to say we're 3 hours, 14 minutes deep on this thing.
Yeah, we're putting in work. We're putting in work for this. We love doing it too. So if you love doing it also, join us. Amen. Well, I haven't developed a sign off.
Yeah.
But prayers out there. It's good to meet you guys, and follow us and say hi.